You know,
Yeah.
we just watch most of it. Watch most of it. So good. Go back here. For the most part, home. Put the link. Watch the show.
They hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah, I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. I'm coming down, no. Got a soul view to myself, yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation. Now I got rollies all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places.
Okay. Looks like we in the building. Is my mic good? Is my mic good? Salute. Shout out to everybody in the building today, man. We back at it again. Back at it again. Let me fix this up a little bit right here. Let me see if I can fix this.
Oh, we good.
There we go. Yeah, what's good, ATP? What's really good? Matter of fact, I don't even listen, guys. I almost didn't even show up today. I'm running so busy today. So listen, man, we're gonna run the show. We're gonna talk about what's going on right now in the space. We got some fights coming up this weekend. We're gonna talk about whatever's going on in the news. We've got some announcements. Jermall Charlo seems to be officially. I mean, we've been hearing about it now for a couple of weeks now about him, looking to return sometime during the summer. Ronnie Shields already had spoken on it. He was actually aiming for around May 17th, May 24th. But it looks like it's going to be May 31st. We'll talk about that. Caleb Plant headlining that card. They're both getting these tune-up fights. And then, obviously, I think the writing's on the wall for the ultimate collision course between those two guys. And we'll talk a little bit about the foundation to their whole entire issue that they have that they're going to be settling in the ring. I guess that's supposed to sell the fight. I think it sells the fight. I mean, we'll talk about it. Jermall just hasn't been very active. Caleb Plant not too far behind Jermall, right? Like, he's kind of not been active as well. We'll talk about him. Richard Torres steps up competition this week as well, going into this weekend fight against Guido Vianello. I think this might be his real first contender that he's getting in the ring with, in my opinion. We'll talk about that as well, as far as what this could mean for Richard Torres' career, as far as his impact in the heavyweight division. Keeping in mind, of course, that American heavyweight boxing hasn't really been doing what we wanted to do. People thought Jared Anderson would check those boxes. We'll talk about that as well. But Richard Torres looks like he's going to throw his hat in the race, fighting against his first real contender in Guido Vianello. We'll see how we'll talk about him and what we're expecting from him, and also what do we think he's going to do in the heavyweight division. Being an American heavyweight, what does he look like against a Moses Atuma? What does he look like against a Jeet Caballero? What does he look like competing with the next generation of heavyweight boxers that are coming up in the game right now? Where does Richard Torres actually fit in that whole entire picture? Of course, we got to talk about Tszyu and Joey Spencer fighting this weekend. Tszyu making his first or return since we saw him get schooled by Bakram Murder Zaliev. Exposed him supposedly, right? He's had a very shaky last year, right? Sebastian Fundora in the beginning of last year, then try to make a return and run for an IBF title against Bakram, and we saw how that turned out. Well, this is actually going to be the big fight for him, I guess, in his hometown, in his home city of Australia against American Joey Spencer. There's a little bit of scrutiny right now. As far as the judging, I'm hearing that they made some last minute changes and that all the judges were going to end up being Australian. Joey Spencer pushing back at it. Thoughts of the actual fight being in danger of not happening if Joey Spencer don't get some act right? But Michael Zarafa has thrown his hat in the race and said if Joey Spencer doesn't show up, hey man, I'm ready to fight. But it looks like they might be ironing it out. Don't want to put no fear into the hemisphere. You know what I mean? It looks like Tszyu and Joey Spencer are still going to happen, but there's a little bit of scrutiny with the politics of boxing and how that goes. Janabek is also going to be defending his middleweight championship this weekend against an undefeated fighter. I can't say his name right now off the top of my head. It's a long name. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can find his name real quick here. Hold on a second here. Let's see. Who are you fighting against? And it's a long name, bro. What's my guy's name here? Oh man. Anyway, I'll look for it right now. He's fighting against somebody, but it's an undefeated fighter. He's an undefeated fighter. Maybe it might be a good fight. We'll talk about that, break that down a little bit. Elvis Rodriguez is actually headlining that Richard Torres card. He'll be trying to make way. We got Jahi Tucker on that card as well. And we'll talk about whatever else is going on in boxing, right? We'll talk about whatever else is going on in boxing. What's good, Ray Davis? How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. Ain't nothing else to do but talk about boxing from day to night, doing work. I'm listening. I mean, all I can do. You know what I mean?
Trying to keep up. Let's shout out some of the people in the room right now who came and tapped in. You know, it's that time of the day. It's around 12 o'clock, a whole bunch of stuff going on. If you're here with us, I definitely want to shout you out. Thank you. You could be a lot of other places. Shout out to other platforms that are out there putting the work in. But if you're here with us, it's a blessing. Shout out to Keith Tucker in the building, Kalia World in the building, YG Knight in the building. Salute to you, King Devontre Bone in the building. Salute to you. Of course, the historian, Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more in the building. Eastside Easy Grass Roots right there. Salute to you, man. Blessing to the good guys, Claymore Rain and Ray Davis, ATP. What's good, chat? Salute to you, Eastside. Who else? We got Edward Morris in here. I believe that's Coach Eddie, right? Edward Morris?
Yeah.
Eddie, right? Coach Eddie in the building. Always good to see you, Coach Eddie. Thomas Hill in the building.
Mayor
Thomas Hill in the building. Let's see who else we got. We got KD the boxer in the building. Salute to you, KD, and Big Sarge in the building. Of course, big up, Big Sarge. Salute to you, man. Thanks for being here in the building today with us, man. We appreciate you, King.
Really?
So, where do we start off with box? Let's talk about the Jermall Charlo and Caleb Plant fight. Now, guys, you see no graphics, right? This is last minute. I didn't even have anything set up. So, yeah, I know you guys might be a little spoiled with all the graphics and stuff we normally working with.
I don't think nobody paid attention.
We're going back to the roots of this and how we used to do. We're just going to kick it off. Jermall Charlo, Caleb Plant on the same card, March 31st. It looks like Jermall Charlo is going to be fighting against Mr. Lamana, right? What do they call him? What's his nickname? What's Lamana's nickname? Oh my God, what is his name, man? Is it Pork Chop or something? I don't know. What's his name?
Oh, you're talking about bread.
No, Lamana got a cornflake Lamana. That's it, cornflake. That's what they call him, cornflake. It's a weird name. He'll be fighting Jermall Charlo. This is a fight that actually got pushed out because I think they were supposed to fight a little while back on the last BBC card, and it didn't happen. And now, you know, it's coming together on this card, and Caleb Plant fighting against somebody I don't even know. And I think that's what's more interesting, right? Jose Armando Resendez, from out of Mexico. This guy's I've never heard of him, to be honest with you. He's out of Mexico, 15 wins, 11 knockouts, 2 losses, and 1 knockout. Clearly a stay busy fight, right? Clearly a stay busy up fight. They're trying to give him something easy, I would say, to go ahead and fight against so that Caleb can be ready to fight against Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo probably has a more competitive fight. You know what I'm saying? Against Lamanna, right?
Word.
Is that
Yo,
what
shout out to the drone in the building. You know what I mean? We take on all kind of AI. You know what I mean? It's all good. Shout out, bro.
Shout out to who? What happened?
Whoever the fake Southpaw ass dude, bro.
Oh, Southpaw. Tanking.
Got you. Guess what?
Ryan has race. Ryan, the racist took a real knee. The man that whooped Pillow Fist, bald head, your raccoon. Okay, well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, so did you guys go ahead and time him out already, or is he still?
He's done.
Okay, easy money.
Van Winkle put to sleep.
He's good to go. We got him together. Got him right together. So yeah. I want to know. Hold on. Let me pull up here real quick. Lamanna. Who? Let me see here. I want to see who he is for real, man.
Bro, it's crazy that you say that, but they don't even have these fights posted yet. Anyway, I gotta go. Let me check boxing. Let's see.
Oh, it's not boxing. It hasn't scheduled. They haven't scheduled.
Boxing news. See what we got here. Yeah, they had stuff up right away.
You can't do it on purpose. It always has to happen by accident. Resume. Let's see here.
Nope. See nothing. It's just something to talk about, right? Just an announcement. Nothing put out there yet.
It looks like that is what the announcement is, though, that they're supposed to be showing up and fighting Lamanna. I can't find anything on it right now. It's actually pretty interesting.
He's not Mexican, bro. I mean, he's Mexican, but he's American Mexican. Dude, I seen him yesterday. He was selling shoes at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Who?
Lamanna.
No, he's a good boxer. He's a good fighter.
He's just messing with you.
No, he's a good fighter.
I believe so. I believe it. If you say so, Clay, I believe it.
No, he is. I remember. It's so interesting. So interesting. So interesting how all of a sudden this guy is not here. That's cool. Man, you know what I mean? It is what it is. It updates as it sees fit. It was right here, and it's not anymore. Whatever reason. Is it this? Is this it? Nope, this ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. Nope. Okay. F it. Is this it? Maybe this is it. Oh, I think I found it. Yeah, I found it. Okay. I found it. All right, yeah, Thomas Lamanna. I'm trying to pull up his box rec right now. I feel like he let me see, Thomas Lamanna.
Found it right away.
Yeah, Cornflake. Thomas Lamanna. He's actually sitting at 39 wins. He's got 5 losses. 3 of those losses came by knockout. He's a decent fighter. Been on a win streak too. Like his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fights. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knockouts out of his last 9 fights. You know what I mean? But he seems like a journeyman for the most part. A good, tune-up fight for Jermall Charlo, right? Keep him honest and see, make sure that he's back the way he needs to be back.
Yeah.
A Caleb Plant, but
from Belleville,
and Caleb just looks like he's just taking an easy fight to just make sure and ensure that this fight is happening between him and Jermall Charlo. Keep in mind, of course, that Caleb Plant has said already that he sent an offer out to Edgar Berlanga that he doesn't expect Edgar to accept it, being that he's the A side to everything now, right?
Oh my god,
he's the A side to everything now.
Every time you say that, bro, now I know. Can I say something? Now how cringe you get when you mention Chris Colbert. When I mentioned Chris Colbert and Tank. You saying Berlanga A side? I feel the same way. Kind of funky.
What Brooklyn boy, what do you mean? Did y'all see today that Better Biev versus Bivol generated 340,000 in pay-per-view sales? Are you talking about money? Or are you talking about units sold? What Brooklyn Bay, you talking about $340,000 or generated 340 pay-per-view sales? Units sold, really? That's what you heard?
About to find out right now.
Better versus Bivol PPV sales. Oh, let's see. No, that's not what I'm seeing. Where did you see that at? Well, how about we do it like this? 350.
I don't see nothing like that.
Yeah, I don't see nothing like that, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. No, I ain't see nothing about that, man. I see 45,000. About 1.7 million. I ain't see that, Brooklyn boy. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't see it. I ain't see it. Edwin Norris, Andrade has been calling both of these dudes out. Yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. I mean, they're gonna, right now the PBC, like we're always talking about it, but the PBC's on a build back better plan, right? And they might literally be on that Joe Biden build back better plan. But they're trying to put they're trying to put together fights that are going to sell. They're thinking about pay-per-views, right? That's what they're doing. And even though this card is supposed to be a free card, they're building up the next, hopefully pay-per-view card, which would be Caleb Plant versus Jermall Charlo. So they're trying to build up some interest in that fight so we can see that fight happen next. It's a fight that just has, a slap that was heard around the world that everybody wants to see these guys kind of figure it out inside the ring at 168. Jermall Charlo, I think, will be making his debut at 168, fighting against Thomas Lamana. Any interest in this fight at this point? Communists bought that fight. Ross Scott said 240,000 communists. Any interest in that fight, though, for real, at the end of the day, between Jermall and Caleb Plant? Like, am I bugging? Like, is there some interest there?
No. People just want to see it because they just want to see Jermall put his hands on Caleb. Let me tell you something. I'll be honest with you. 5 figure set to the face, slap, should have fought him then. You both had opportunity, you should have fought him then. First of all, it took 10 seconds for you to realize the dude slapped you. Like come on, bro. That should have happened.
From what I understand, he was under the influence a little bit, right? That's what the story is, right? That he was kind of like in his, he was buzzing and living his life, living his best life. And that's probably what got the whole situation going. He grabbed Caleb Plant's beard, disrespect him a little bit in front of his wife. So Caleb had to get him together. So, when you're inebriated and caught up, you have slow reflexes. So, you get slapped, trying to process it.
Slow reactions too, because it was like
right.
Oh,
it looked like to me was more like this dude done slapped me in my mouth. Yo, this dude just, it was an understanding of what happened to him. But ultimately, it did it build up a fight? Did it build up enough to want to see these guys in the ring? I think in that moment it was like, that's gotta be the next fight. But at this point in Caleb Plant's journey, from where where I believe he's at, which is he's right there at the top of 168. Jermall Charlo is more of a name right now than anything else, right? Like
Zepeda.
You said Zepeda?
A payday.
Oh, a payday. I mean, they're fighting. I mean, yes, a payday, right? A potential payday, a dance partner for a pay-per-view for Caleb Plant. But I mean, they're kind of tapping into that casual fan, right? Because the reality is Jermall Charlo's done nothing to really be at 168. As I mean, you know what I mean? He's just been so inactive. He's been so inactive. When was the last time Jermall Charlo fought? It was Jose Benavidez.
Jose
right?
Benavidez 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm. I think it was that Jose? Let me see. I just had the one
Benavidez in November of 2023, right?
Right.
So like a year and a half ago, a year and some change ago, right? Back on, let me see. Yeah, something like that, about a year and a half ago. I don't know, man. Where's the interest in this fight like that, right? Like, I don't know, man. I think people would be way more interested in seeing Caleb Plant fight maybe a Jaime Munguia or
Berlanga ASAP fight, bro.
Edgar Berlanga, maybe even a Diego Pacheco. I mean, but I guess none of these guys have the name that Jermall Charlo brings to the table at the end of the day. It is a name. The Charlo brothers are making a return. I think there was a video that dropped the other day with Jermall and Jermell Charlo kind of working out, shadow boxing in the same ring. Got a lot of attention. It is what it is. Both Charlos, Ross Scott says both Charlos is past their prime. Let's keep it a buck. Right. It just names the sell tickets at this point. 100%. Exactly. I mean, until they show us different in the ring, until they show us some real dominating, like we're back performances. I think at the end of the day, they're just a name. But it's what the PBC has, right? The PBC still has some names. They have Errol, they got the Charlo brothers, they got Tank, they got David Benavidez. I mean, Tank and David aren't just names; they're actually still in the game doing their thing.
Yeah, it's the stars of the team. You know what I mean? Those are guys that could take practice lightly and still start the game on Sunday. You know what I mean?
Right. So it is what it is. I'm not that excited about the news, Ray. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's okay. I think I'm gonna be tapped in to see what's going on. Shout out Coach Eddie says
Demetrius Andre.
Yeah,
I said that Coach Eddie, wasn't that on I said that on what's the name channel, right? And he was like, well, he's about to retire, he's old, and I'm like, what?
I mean, he's in that conversation as well, Ray. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's right there in that old retire. He's kind of there. He just a little. I don't know. I mean, when was his last fight? David Benavidez. When was the last time he fought? I mean,
exactly. Same time frame. Probably the same fight. November. If you click the card on where you just was, it's the same fight.
Oh yeah, it was, It was. There were the headlines. It was David Benavidez headlining and Jermall. But the same thing, right? Same conversation though.
That's what I'm saying. If anything, them two should be fighting. Jermall and Andre. Then Plant.
That would be a better fight than Thomas LaManna. But more of a threat, right? Not a comeback, tuning fight. Nah, Boo Boo washed.
You think he washed? I mean, I guess. You know what? Inactivities are sort of you know what?
And how old is Boo Boo? What is he, like 35?
He about to say he made Charlo. Well, he almost 40, ain't he? Boo Boo?
I don't know.
Yeah, Demetrius Andre almost 40, man.
Yeah, so these guys are kind of out the way and they're, these fights, once again, timing in boxing, right? Timing, right? Making these fights at the right time is so important. Catching these guys outside of their prime and then putting them together like, oh, I always wanted to see Demetrius Andre fight Jermall Charlo. I always did want to see that fight. Did you? Did you want to see it back in it? Do you want to see it now? I mean, let's be honest, right? Like that fight.
Bro, these guys passed, like I said, these yesteryears. I hate to say it like that. 37, right?
Yeah,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. They all knocking on retirement, bro.
I think the PBC, the one thing about the PBC they need to do is the PBC.
They're gonna come out like scarecrows on us, bro. Like the monkeys on Wizard of Oz that flew. Don't do it.
I think the PBC needs to.
He's gonna do it.
Of course, I'm gonna do it. I think the PBC needs a. Until I'm looking to see a few things from the PBC, right? A would be the activity, which I see them kind of addressing it right now. They're putting more free cards on. They're getting a little more active, but I think the next thing is also going to be what new fighters are you guys
Get younger, right?
showcase? You know what I mean? I need to see you guys sign some fighters. When I don't see you guys signing new fighters, it makes me feel like there's issues, because your fighters that you're putting out there are older. You know, you're putting out this Jermall, Charlo, Caleb Plant situation, the way you're doing it, the way the rollout is happening. It just looks like, you know, it just looks like nothing's going on over there. I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. It is what it is. Listen, Ross Scott says if you're older and you're only fighting once a year, you have to stay training all year round. Otherwise, you lose your steam. 100%. It's just not there. It's just not there, man. It is what it is. We'll keep an eye out open for it. You know what I mean? How much of a story you want us to put behind something like that, right, guys? I mean, it is what it is. They're scheduled to be on the same card. Naturally, you'd like to believe that they're on a collision course of fighting each other, understanding primarily that the money's going to make the biggest difference on how this fight does come together. Both these guys are going to be looking for some big paydays. Hopefully the PBC is able to facilitate that and, you know, put something even more interesting on the undercard. So let's continue to move this forward and go into Tszyu versus Joey Spencer in Australia. Tszyu's return. Where are we on Tszyu right now, Ray? At this point, where are we on Tszyu? Is Tszyu still one of those guys at 154? Is he there still, or has he officially been demoted and knocked down?
He's second.
Keep on. I'm not talking about.
No, I'm being real.
Boxing space things. I'm just talking about
I'm being real.
How you feel about Tim?
I think he's still he's a name, so I say he's second tier. You know what I mean? If you're champions and you're super contenders, when I say super contenders, I mean everybody in the top two is at like the first tier. He's second tier. He's right there knocking on the door. He just needs a fight or two to get acclimated back to who he was, and then, you know what I mean, focus on these wins again. I just think, like, boxing is a sport too. A lot of people don't realize you age fast. And I think Tszyu aged right before our eyes. I mean, he got his moment, but the reason why he aged is because it took him so long to get to that point, Clay. You know what I mean? He never got to fight of Charlo. Then they gave him the belt. He had a couple of defenses, you know what I mean? And then he ran into a Tower Inferno who literally forearmed him in the forehead, and next thing you know, ended his career took a turn, right? So he can bounce back. He just at this point, he's not going to be the Tszyu we knew 3 years ago. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, of course it makes sense. My thing with Tszyu is you took a fight against Sebastian Fundora, ill-advised if it was up to me, but you took your last replacement in Sebastian Fundora and lost your title. But you never took anything to kind of get the wheels turning under you, right? You went directly into another title fight against Bakram Murtazayev, and that fight, you know, actually hurt you. You actually got clipped, beat up, and kind of exposed a little bit in that fight. Now you're getting ready to fight Joseph Spencer on the back end of a
beatdown.
A Keith Thurman. Well, yeah, that, but a Keith Thurman, you know, had a pretty dominating victory right there in Australia. So you can kind of see the writing on the wall, like, you know, Keith Thurman versus Tszyu.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's a fight that they're trying to put together. So Tim is getting in the ring with a Joseph Spencer, but are these good, like, comeback fight? I think the Keith Thurman fight is a good comeback fight, right? Joseph Spencer, I'm not too familiar with him, but he's sitting at 19 wins, 11 KOs, and 1 loss by knockout, right? And I think he lost that about 4 fights back against.
Yeah, we watched that fight.
He lost against Jesus Ramos.
Yeah, we watched that fight.
We watched that fight?
Yeah. It was on the card of which card was that? I think it was the Tszyu card. It was the Tszyu card. The first top ranked fight, I think it was. I mean, I'm sorry, the first PBC card.
Was that the fight, right?
I think that was the same card that Tszyu lost the belt with Fundora.
No.
It was the first. It was the first fight of Amazon, or maybe the last card of PBC on Showtime. It's one of the two.
Hold on a second. Let's take a look at it here. What card it was on? No, it was on the David Benavidez Caleb Plant card.
That's what. Okay, yeah, but we watched that fight. I know we watched it because we did live on that. What's up, Blue? Salute.
Salute, family. He's in the building.
Yeah.
Salute, Blue. So, I mean, Tszyu on this trajectory to come back, where's he trying to go at 154 pounds? If he does fight Keith Thurman, first of all, how do you have that fight going between him and Keith Thurman? I think Keith gets him out of there. Stop. No, I don't mean stop. Let me jump. I didn't mean to say that, but I think he wins the fight.
Nope.
You think Tim is better than Tim beats Keith? Why?
I think Tim's power is overwhelming for Keith. Keith's been out the game for too long. That first of all, we watched Keith Thurman fight a 140-pounder that came up in weight that had no power resistance, no experience in ring with top contention, and literally a punching bag. Tszyu is not going to be a punching bag. Tszyu is going to be somebody that punches hard in reaction, and he's going to be able to stop Thurman at any time. Because guess what Keith Thurman don't like? Body shots. Guess what Tszyu do like? Body shots. So that's a damn straight up, I'm going to punch you in the abs and you're going down, and you get up, I'm going to punch you in the abs again. And once you drop your hands, I'm headhunting. Yo, Tszyu beats him. He probably stops Thurman for sure. Sure, Thurman's not the guy, bro. He took 2 steps backwards, bro. He's way behind. He's not the same guy.
I don't know where people do this to Keith Thurman, how he ends up in these conversations getting talked to about like this. He's lost one fight against Manny Pacquiao.
Go ahead. I'll let you rock.
He's lost one fight against Manny Pacquiao, a close fight, by the way, where if he didn't get knocked down in that first round or second round, I remember when he got knocked down, that he probably would have won that fight, right, on the cards, or it would have been a draw. Competed with Manny Pacquiao at the highest level. He's been inactive for sure for the past 5 years, but ultimately, I don't know of the performances that have exposed this man to the point to where they're just waiting for him to get knocked off. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen him lose the way Tszyu lost. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I'm not, out here advocating for Keith Thurman all the way, but I do think, he gets, I don't know, I just haven't seen him be exposed this way for me to think that. I don't think Tszyu a better boxer than Keith Thurman.
No, he's not.
I don't think Tszyu has the movement and an athleticism of Keith Thurman.
He doesn't.
I think Keith Thurman's ability to control the distance, his experience he brings to the table. I don't know who I've seen Tszyu in the ring with that matches Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman will be the best fighter that Tszyu's been in the ring with.
Hell no.
So who's better than Keith Thurman? Who are you gonna say? Tony Harrison?
Right,
not who?
In the division, yeah. For 154, absolutely. You got to remember,
Tony Harrison's better than Keith Thurman.
For the division, yes. At that point in the division, yes. Overall, no. I think Brian Mendoza's his point of fighting Keith Thurman. I'm talking about at the time they fought Keith Thurman, Tszyu, is better. Carlos Ocampo was better than Keith Thurman at that point. Listen, Keith Thurman, and what I'm trying to say is he's like a car that you had for.
Wait, who else did you say? You said Tony Harrison. Who else?
No. What I said was Carlos Ocampo and Brian Mendoza at 154. Yes, they will. Yes. Now 147.
I'll say Brian Mendoza is more dangerous. But let me tell you what I'm saying. Right, Keith Thurman, who boxes better than Keith Thurman that Tszyu's fought? Like Brian Mendoza stands in there. He's available for what Tszyu does. Right, he's there trying to out Tszyu. Right, so okay, fine. Brian Mendoza is that. Tony Harrison was done. Right, by the time he fought Tszyu, he already got exposed and clipped and got that chin cracked by Jermall Charlo, right?
Right.
I don't know anybody on Tszyu's resume who brings the intangibles that Keith Thurman brings brings to the ring. Who? Terrell Gausha?
No. Nobody. No, nobody.
So now how's Tszyu going to deal with the movement? And Keith Thurman's power is honest. It's honest. He has honest power. So Keith Thurman doesn't have any power?
No, I said all boxers have honest power.
No, some
Yes.
he has,
Anybody
more,
can catch you.
he has more power than the average boxer. He's above the average boxer. So I say honest power. If everybody has honest power, then he has above honest. He can catch Tszyu. His timing, he can put Tszyu in his pockets, bro.
He can. Does he?
I don't know.
Yes,
I think that fight's a lot
listen,
closer
man.
to fight.
Listen, Clay. Let me break it down like this. 147 was the last time we seen Keith Thurman. What was his last fight at 147? Was it Barrios? Wasn't it Barrios? Or did he have a fight after Barrios?
Probably Barrios. Let me see.
Okay, right. So that was what, 3.5 years or 4 years ago?
Oh, yeah, when we talk about the activity,
Okay. Hold on. Right. So he slowed down since then, couple injuries here and there.
Keep in mind, of course, stylistically, let's be 100. Mario Barrios is a better boxer than Tszyu, bro. He is. Tszyu's a puncher, bro. Mario Barrios stays behind that jab. He's active. He has a nice output on punches. He's defensively sound. You know what I'm saying? Like he brings those intangibles that make that fight look the way it did against Keith Thurman.
So let me ask you a question. All right, let's put it. Let me give you this point then, since you want to go down that road, right? Name me a pressure fighter, and you know who this is, that fought Keith Thurman, that gave him all the world of trouble, and most people thought that he lost that fight.
Who you talking, Sean?
Right? Sean Porter.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
Sean's wild.
Oh, I don't care how wild he is. Was he a pressure fighter? Somebody that applied the pressure, made Keith think a little bit, kept him moving backwards, were able to close the gap.
He did,
that was Keith in his prime, right?
Tszyu's not like Sean. That pressure coming from Sean is different than Tszyu's pressure. Sean brings the punch output. He brings that. Tszyu
brings punch output.
Tszyu doesn't bring it like that.
Bro,
Tim brings, in my opinion, Tszyu brings the threat more than the activity. That's how I feel when I see him fight. Sean brings the activity more than the threat. So Sean brings the keep your hands up because punches is coming. You got to try to punch in between Sean Porter's punches is complicated because he's real. He's kind of like explosive. Tszyu's more like a mixture of timing, physical presence, and a little bit of work rate. Right. Mostly movement and the threat of
the way he walks you down.
Yeah, he walks you down physically. His presence. Sean puts hands on you. He swarms you. Thank you, he drowns you in activity. Very Williams Hayter-ish at times.
And that my point is that was the faster, younger, slick Keith Thurman. Now we're at old man Thurman. Man got less hair on his head than I do. You know what I mean? That Thurman.
I don't know if he has less than you, bro.
I know. Listen. But anyway, at the end of the day, Keith Thurman, I take 2 steps backwards, especially moving up in weight. You know what I mean? His power, like I said, that guy was a jack in the box, bro.
If he's catching Tszyu with 3-4 punch combinations,
but he didn't look as fast. I'm telling you, he did not look as fast.
We don't know if that chin ain't been cracked. We don't know if Tszyu's chin ain't been cracked.
Possibly. But listen, we'll find out, right?
Might have cracked that chin. He might not be the same guy. That chin might be cracked. He might have a little, you know what I mean? He might have a crack in that chin.
We hope not. But you know what I mean? For a good fight, no. But I think Tszyu weathers that storm. He beats the brakes off of Keith Thurman. But Tszyu weathers that storm and beats the brakes off Keith Thurman.
You heard it. Mark the words. He said it.
April 2nd, 2025. April 2nd. Right now. April.
I'm writing it down. Let me write it down. Hold on. Let me write it down.
2025. Because I'm not going to say I told you. When it happens, I'm going to say it like this.
Of course you're going to say you told me.
No. I'm going to do this. I'm going to just do this.
That's telling me. If you communicate to me if you communicate to me in any kind of way to remind me of this date, you're telling me so.
Yo,
What it is.
yo.
In any kind of way, if you communicate with a wink, with a hand gesture, if the chat's able to identify and be like, look what he doing, real quick. Look what he doing. That's telling me.
I'm telling you, Tim Tszyu he gonna attack that midsection, bro. Look, fly frequency, no, he gonna body this dude. He gonna drop him, man. He gonna hurt Keith Thurman, bro.
Listen, I don't know. I think it's a 50-50 fight. Maybe even I'll go 60-40 Keith. Him hasn't been the same, man. I gotta see Keith, man. Who is Keith? What has Keith done? Okay, let me tell you. Stylistically, Keith. Let me tell you what I know Tim Tszyu is going to do.
He's not as fast as he used to be, man. I'm telling you,
this is what Tim Tszyu is going to be effective against. Where I know he's going to be good. If somebody's going to stand in front of him or try to out punch him, right? Even in the Tony Harrison fight, there was points in the fight where Tony Harrison was doing well. It wasn't until Tony Harrison slowed down, got caught up on the ropes, started not to be able to. That's when Keith is way more well-rounded. He has way more. Tony Harrison was never able to get the respect of Tim Tszyu. I believe Keith can get that respect. I just can't. I haven't seen Keith Thurman be dominated in that way to where people don't respect him, to where he's being just walked down. And we're picturing Tim Tszyu doing this, but we have nobody that Tim's, even with Sean Porter, Sean wasn't doing that. Anything he felt like doing with Keith Thurman. He wasn't. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. And I know I hear you hurt to the body, and he's been hurt to the body, but Keith has the skill set and the IQ to deal with that, to recover, and he has that movement that Tim Tszyu hasn't shown me he's gonna be able to keep up with on a high level.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's going to be a CrossFit class. It's going to be a CrossFit class with Tim Tszyu.
Right. I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. Ready? You ready for this? Fighters get old, bro. I said it about Tim Tszyu. You age in the ring. Keith Thurman, though he's been out the ring, he's not just aging in the ring, he's aging outside of the ring. He has a port, bro. His inactivity is crazy for high-level competition. If that was the case, he would have jumped in there with somebody legitimate instead of this kid from 140 that had no chance in hell to fight him. Listen, let's get the biggest, most handsomest kid in the world, and we're going to find him, and we're going to make a fight with him so we can look good. Come on, bro. I think his son would have beat up Brock, whatever his name was.
I got to see what Tim looks like this week.
Yeah, you didn't even think about that. You was like, yeah, he would.
And I ain't thinking about that. Listen, I'm going to tell you like this. I got to see how he looks against Joey Spencer. If he looks pedestrian against Joey Spencer, bro, I'm sorry, bro.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He got to look good. He got to look good, man.
Joey Spencer's a good boxer, right? He actually has really good footwork. This is actually as close as you're going to get outside of Tony Harrison, or somebody that can move in the ring. He's going to keep going to hurt this guy.
Let me tell you, man. Joey Spencer likes to fight the way Tim Tszyu. Joey Spencer likes to fight the way Tim Tszyu wants him to fight. Right? He stays in there. Like I'm watching highlights of him right now. When he fought Jesus Ramos, right? And he stood there right in front of Jesus Ramos, kept them hands up, fighting mid-range, let Jesus Ramos let off 3, 4, 5 punches, try to catch as much of them off his gloves and his elbows as he can, then respond. This is what Tim looked. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Joey Spencer throws some heavy shots. He throws some heavy shots, and he can take some punches too. He took a lot of punches from Jesus Ramos. You know what I'm saying? He did, man. He got that dog in him. So Tim's going to get an opportunity to fight somebody who is going to stand there in front of him. In other words, Tim's going to have an opportunity to look good. If he doesn't look good in front of this dude who's standing in front of him, if he's not able to get Joey out, Joey went to the decision with Jesus Ramos. So he got a chin. He's not playing no games. You know what I'm saying?
Guess what?
If he's playing no games. Look good in front of this dude,
you're gonna pop him, knock him out. You're gonna stop Joey Spencer.
Huh?
And you know, you're going to stop him. Look, it goes back to what I've always said, Clay. You're only as good as your last fight. People only remember those moments. They don't remember everything else no more. They kind of forget all those other things that happened from the moment of the start till that last fight. They forget everything else. Tszyu is a better. He's not a better boxer, but he's a better fighter than Keith Thurman. I'm telling you, he will. He gonna wipe the floor with that dude. He gonna wipe the floor with Spencer. He's got something to prove right now. So he gonna beat Spencer up. Why you gonna see Joey Spencer?
He got TKO'd by Jesus Ramos. My bad. He got TKO'd.
Yeah, you gonna watch. He gonna get beat up. Watch.
Salute Robert Chandler. I mean, we'll find out, man. Shout out to both those guys. I got no horse in the race. I'm going with Keith for now. I think Keith's experience is going to prevail. I think Keith's experience is just going to it's just going to be the difference maker. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just going to be the difference maker. Shout out Mr. Big Play Bray. Say Clay and Ray going back and forth reminds me of my uncles playing dominoes. For sure, man. For sure. Listen, we gonna find out what happens. We're gonna find out what happens on that
playing bones.
I don't know, man. I just Tim's gonna get an opportunity to show us all, to show me. He's gonna get an opportunity to do that, and let's see what he looks like against Joey Spencer, and then let's see what happens with the fight getting put together between them. After I see them do whatever they're gonna do, I'll have a better some better perspective on what to expect from him. I don't want to sleep on Tszyu, but I'm just saying that I have not seen Tszyu. I definitely have not seen Tszyu in the ring with a Keith Thurman yet. I haven't seen it yet. I'll say it like that. I don't know who I would compare any of it in his resume. That
have you seen? I don't know. I can't really bring up Keith Thurman's opponents because he has some good opponents.
100%.
But that was one time Keith ponytail Keith. You know what I mean? It's a big difference.
Anything I would hold back against Keith, I would say, all right, Keith being at 147, cutting that weight. As you get older, that metabolism changes on you a little bit. You know what I mean? But I think Keith Thurman is going to be in great shape. I think he feels good. He looks like he feels good at 154. He still has that athleticism. He's still moving around. He's still light on his toes.
37 play.
And so what? And he still has the ability to hurt you. He has the ability to hurt you. How old is Tszyu? What is he? 33? 30.
Probably,
he's 30 years old.
Probably early 30s.
Yeah, he's 30.
If not 30. 28, I think.
And Keith Thurman is an inactive 37 years old. So that has its benefits as much as it has the bad part about it. It has its benefits as well. He doesn't have that wear and tear on him. He hasn't been in that many wars. You know what I mean? He's been in there with Mario Barrios, and Mario's a welterweight, you know what I'm saying? And you know, he tested Tszyu, but at the end of the day, Tszyu walked out on the other side of that fight with a victory. It is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people could look at it for whatever they want to look at. Salute to Next Generation Combat Sports TV. Let's go ahead and move the needle a little bit. You know, guys, we're only going to be on here for like an hour and a half. It is what it is today. You know what I mean? We're probably going to wrap it up a little early, but I do want to talk about these fights, man. So Abdullah Mason has his first 10-rounder coming up. He's actually stepping up in rounds now. He's going to have a 10-rounder. A late replacement. We know that the fight was supposed to be against Giovanni Cabrera. Giovanni Cabrera had to back out of the fight. Had, I guess, an injury to his eye or orbital, something like that, and he couldn't fight. So he has a last-minute replacement, which still isn't even on his box rec as a fight that he's having. But I can tell you guys, it's against another flat-footed Mexican, right? Let me pull it up right here. Who's fighting against? He's fighting against Carlos Ornelas. Carlos Ornelas, right? Last minute replacement. I'm not that happy about the fight. I love to see Abdullah Mason fight, but I wanted to see him fight against somebody who's going to move him around a little bit. You know what I mean? Hold on a second. This is not the guy. Where you at, Carlos? Carlos Ornelas, IBA Pro. I can't even pull him up, bro. That's crazy, dog.
These people don't exist, Clay. They keep telling you, they keep finding them. They pull them off the back of trucks.
Hold on a second here. I can't even find this dude, bro. But I know he's coming forward. Hold on a second. Carlos Box Pro, yeah. Really? I can't find nothing about this dude. Let's look him up here.
Looking all about, see if he's a pro-am or anything like that. Any other sanctions or boxing tournaments, whatever. They cut my grass today?
Oh, I found him. I know where he's at. Hold on.
I don't know if y'all hear that buzzing, but they cut my grass.
Is that him?
Might be. I don't know. I can't see. What's his name? Carlos what?
Ornelas.
Ornelas or Cornelis?
Ornelas. Ornelas. Ornelas.
I'm already past that. Got that part.
Is this him right here? Yeah, this is him. Sam Club employees. Anyway, this is a Mexican fighter. He's going to be coming forward. He's coming to get stopped.
Damn, Sam's Club, bro.
The guy who I'm looking at here has 0 wins and 1 loss. Can't be him.
So I said, check his
I refuse to believe that Jerron is getting ready to that Abdul is fighting this dude that I'm looking at. It has to be somebody else. I gotta keep looking. I gotta keep giving. I can't give up. I gotta keep looking. Hold on.
Might be this 28-4 guy, super featherweight. Nope. Damn, no.
Hold on a second, bro. I refuse to believe that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, yo. It's gotta be that guy, bro.
No, bro. Hold on, bro. No, bro. No, dog. No, Abdullah Mason.
But you go to his IBA, go to his pro box, Clay. Like you gotta hit boxing pro on the left. So
okay, better. All right.
That's what I was telling you. You gotta look at what fights he's in.
My bad. Okay, so this guy, 28 wins, 15 knockouts, 4 losses, 3 of them by knockout. He's flat-footed. He's coming forward. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's gonna do, bro. This is gonna be a stay busy fight for Abdullah Mason. But Abdullah Mason now getting ready to fight, 10-round fights now. He's fighting 10-round fights now. They got to step up the competition for him. This kid's development is in the crosshairs here. I don't. We're gonna watch the fight. You're gonna see the knockout, but at the end of the day, that fight has to be his best fight. Like he has to step it up, man. He's got to step it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron Scott said 0 wins and 1 loss. Damn, that's my box record. Yeah. He's got to step it up, man. He's got to step it up. It's not his fault though. He was supposed to fight Giovanni Cabrera, and he got the injury. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
But still, the optics kind of say it's time to step up. We've seen it. I plan on seeing him get up out of there, and then we'll see what his next fight's going to be. Let's move on from it. As a matter of fact, there's really nothing there to talk about. Richard Torres versus Guido Vianello. This is going to be a good fight. This is going to be a good fight, bro.
I seen something on this. But that dude, that's the Italian dude, ain't it?
Yeah, the Italian dude, but he's a real contender.
He just fought somebody not too long ago, gave a decent fight, and then got stopped.
Let me see here. Richard Torres fought
No, not that. Yeah.
Guido Vianello fought. He's 13-2, 11 knockouts. So he's punching. I think he fought. Did he fight the Russian Mike Tyson?
I was gonna say that's what I think he fought. He was giving him trouble, wasn't he? If not, he beat him, didn't he?
He stopped him. TKO by the 8th round. He TKO'd him.
Yeah, he beat him.
He lost a split decision to FA Jogba.
Yep.
Right. He knocks out Moses Johnson. Knocks unanimous decision over Curtis Harper. And
I don't know who that is.
He was stopped by Jonathan Rice. He has 1 stoppage on his record, but he's a puncher and he brings that experience. So Richard Torres is stepping it up. He's been fighting 10-round fights, right? That's what he's been doing for like his last 3-4 fights.
Right.
Richard Torres is definitely this is gonna be a step up for him. Definitely.
Listen, the way his defense is, bro, if he keep doing that herky jerky, just punch wild, knock you out, and be over.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll be honest with you, this is going to be Richard Torres' first 10-round fight as well. So they're trying to get him in that conversation. On the back end of a victory here, he's 12 wins, 11 knockouts. Is Richard Torres going to be in the conversation as far as the heavyweights are concerned for American heavyweight boxing? Are we looking at him to potentially fight a Moses Atuma down the line, a Frank Sanchez, a Jared Anderson? Like, are these fights in the crosshairs of Richard Torres on the back end of a win against a Guido Vianello?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's there, right? He's stepping up the competition for sure. I like Richard Torres. I like what he does in the ring. I do think he's a bit of a small heavyweight. At times he looks like a small heavyweight, but he fits right in there with a Moses Atuma, and he got the punching power. Right? He got that punching power.
It's the defense that scares me though with Richard Torres, man. He just with him. That's crazy. He do, bro. He look like he do look like the dude that wore that with the Letterman jacket, like you know what I mean?
He's a young guy for sure. He's 25.
Yeah, he is. But listen, man, let me tell you something. Richard Torres because I like Atuma. Atuma, it gets busy and he has defense. Richard Torres, he just like it's like he
shout out to my guy Mazuma in the building. What's good?
Thanks, Mazuma.
What's good, family? Hope everything's good with you, man. I ain't talked to you in a minute, man. I hope everything is good with you, man. I know you got your son and you're doing your thing, man. God bless you, man. Let me see. He says he can't control Cabrera pulling out. Exactly. Nobody notable is fighting Abdullah Mason on late notice. 100%. He's making the right move by staying busy and keeping his two sharp. 100%, Mazuma. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I actually watched. I was watching the Mazuma channel a couple nights ago. I can't tap in because I be at work. Ain't supposed to have my phone no more, man. They banned the phone
late. Mazuma come on late.
I'm saying they banned the phones from the room, so I gotta, you know what I mean, put my earpieces. They only want earpieces, so
he come on too late. I'm way too old. I can't keep up. But I do need to pop up, man. Every now and then, I'm gonna try to pop up, man. Just stay up late to pop up. But for the most part, yeah, bro, I'll be killing myself to stay up past like 10:30. I'll be torturing myself to stay up. I'm literally old when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? But for sure, shout out to Mazuma TV. Roscott said Richard Torres is a hype job. I don't agree with you, Roscott. I think Richard Torres is a good boxer, bro. I think he's a good boxer, an athletic boxer. You know what I mean? He's just a bit small for the weight class, but he brings that athleticism and he brings that power. Shoot, Moses Atuma could be considered small, and he's out there making waste of these heavyweights. You know what I mean? Let me see. Claymore Rain Torres is too small for heavyweights and keeps fighting until never improve. This fight right here is going to be a step up for him. Guido Vianello is going to be a step up for him, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, JB fighter. And shout out to Rick Tim for putting it, the fight on the that's coming up out there too. By the way, he put a notification. I guess you know what I mean. We ain't pulling nobody up today, so. I mean, just let everybody know. You know what I mean, Rick Tim said there's this fight going on down there in Houston, so that's what's up.
He said what?
They got a card down there in Houston, a fight card. He was saying, and he was just letting everybody know that I guess in the area, which is cool. You know what I mean? Promote the fight. We all about boxing over here.
Right. But what I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, let me go back. Says we have a fight card here in Houston, 9 and Friday, April 4th. My guy, Freeway Rick Ross, will be in town. His fighter is on the card.
Okay. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you catch the fight? Can we even catch the fight?
Sometimes they put them on YouTube, or they send them links. They send like weird. I don't know how to say it. It's like a circuit where they send the links out, and you can actually watch it on the stream through these links too. But it depends on who has the link, I think.
No doubt. Salute Bradley, 68. Let me see here. Next Generation says Abdullah did get dropped twice by a featherweight, though, so they might be moving him carefully. I don't think they're moving him carefully. I think they're moving him. They got to step up the competition. Matter of fact, getting dropped by a featherweight.
There's a reason why they need to step up.
He needs to step up. Yeah, he's getting he's getting lulled into the false sense of security of fighting fighters who can't hurt him. So that's why the competition needs to step up. But Well, you know, I mean, like Mazuma said, I like what Mazuma said. I thought that was pretty accurate, you know, just about the activity and, you know, finding a late replacement for a fighter on Abdullah Mason's level is not going to be easy. Most people aren't just going to jump in the ring with him. You already kind of know what the look is going to be. It's going to be some flat-footed, come forward Mexican punching fighter who's down to get paid and you know, and you know, sock him. What is it? How's it go? Sock him, rock him?
Rock him, sock him. Listen, SquarePants, SpongeBob, or whatever you said, SquareBob, SpongePants. Get it right. I don't know what you said, but you said it backwards. I'm gonna keep.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a brain fart, bro. I'm not good at
It's
those.
all good. It's all good, Clay. Just it's that time of day, bro. You got a lot on your plate today, you said. So
yeah, I was moving around a lot today, man.
Yeah.
Still got more stuff to do. That's why I'm getting off.
I got practice, and I'm trying to go to work early tonight.
Yeah,
Get that bread, that cheddar, that. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Doc Boxing.
Square Bob Sponge Pants. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yo,
how's it go, by the way? Is it Square Bob?
It's SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay. But you funny as hell for that. Yo, you said that, I died.
No, nobody in my crib watch that ish, bro. Not even the young one.
Yo, that's probably the funniest kids cartoon I've ever seen, bro.
Nah, nobody watches it.
Yo.
I think my daughter used to watch it, like, and I'm gonna be real with you, it would watch her more than she was watching it when she was like 7, 8 years old. It'd be on and she'd be just doing something else, playing with her toys, or it would just be on the TV, just kind of being ignored, watching her.
Yo, that's crazy. I'm telling you, Clay, my son used to watch, oldest son, when he was watching it, and they did the Sea Bear episode, but that shit was funny, bro.
He said I'm a night owl. My fault. Nah, man, Mazuma, you got it, bro. It is what it is. But you know, I started with Mazuma, man. That's why I started going.
Yeah, shout out to Mazuma, man.
You know what I'm saying? But I would catch the shows because he was like one of the only platforms that I really like really respected the boxing knowledge that was being dropped on it without all the drama and all the nonsense. So I'd make it a point to kind of stay up there and try to, you know, put in some, but I would be killing myself to stay up, man, killing myself. And ultimately hit the link one day, was building with him, and you know what I'm saying, he was like, you should do a channel, man, blah, blah, you know what I mean? And I ended up
I remember you told me that's actually how I got welcome to the channel.
Right.
I was up here shouting you out in the chat. And then I remember Mazuma was like, who is this guy, bro? Yo, I'm about to get him up. Shout out to Mazuma. Yo, I'm about to get him up out of here. Yo, who is this Ray Davis? Like, you know him? He was like, yeah. He's like, oh, all right. I was about to toss him, bro.
but Cash, I can never say your last name. I don't know why you put your last name up there. I feel it's unfair, and I think it's also kind of like
it's funny.
I'll be feeling like you be low key like poking at me because my instincts is wanting to say your last name, but I can't. I don't know. Chapa Tszyu. Chapa Tszyu. What y'all think about Keyshawn versus De Los Santos? Will it happen? Who you got? I think it is gonna happen. I've got Keyshawn Davis in the fight. That's who I've got winning. But it's gonna be a competitive fight, and I think Keyshawn's gonna get tested. I think De Los Santos is gonna make it a point to test him. And I think this is one of those fights. Once again, we're talking about Abdullah Mason and his development. We're talking about Richard Torres and his development. Well, we got a champion in Keyshawn Davis that's still developing, which is one of the things that make me more of a fan of Keyshawn Davis, is that I know he's getting better, that he hasn't hit the ceiling, that he's not, you know, the best version of himself yet. In a fight like this against Edwin De Los Santos, I love the trajectory that Keyshawn is on. He's constantly stepping up in competition. As he's winning, he's leveling himself up and becoming more and more of a dangerous fighter. So, yeah, I love that fight for Keyshawn going against De Los Santos. I love it. Let's see here. What we got going on here? Let me see here. My bad. The chi is pronounced like a K. Oh, goodness gracious. Vikesh, what are you talking about right now? So the chi is a K, bro? Brother, are you telling me that your name is Kappa Tszyu, even though it's CH in the beginning? Oh, you playing with me, bro. You playing with me, bro.
Imagination. That's what rock.
Nah, bro, that's diabolical, bro. That's something I would never figure out.
Well, look at what's the name? Janabek name, right? Janabek is with a Z. They spell it with a J on certain platforms, but his name is spelled with a Z.
I don't know, man. That's why, like I said, I feel like you're playing with me because my instincts is to try to sound it out. And here I go. I said chop at desire. And look at it. I'm sounding dumb. I'm sounding dumb out here, man.
It's not what you want. I ain't gonna lie. That's the American ignorance, though, Clay. The American English ignorance that we have. We spell everything up. Listen,
I don't think the American English ignorance is the American English education.
I'm gonna explain to you why. Because when we talk in they tell you the English language is the hardest to learn. In America, we have the ignorance of not understanding how certain letters go together in other ways of the world. So like that being a K, we would have never put it that way because our ignorance is too, like, unless we see a last name in school or something like that, and we know that, we'll go with what we see, no matter what.
I'll go with ignorance off the strength of the definition of ignorance, which is not knowing. But
that's what you said.
But there's definitely tonality to ignorance that also sounds like stupid. You know
no, we're not stupid. I'm just saying American ignorance. We just don't know. I just said that. Right.
No, I just told you. I just said I'm acknowledging the way you're using it.
Earbud through the screen at you, bro.
But I'm pushing back at the
I know.
At the
you ain't like it. You ain't like it. It's cool. I respect that. My bad. No insults.
No, I don't care. I'm good. I'm just saying I'm acknowledging it for what it is, but I'm also pushing back for what it looks like.
Even though it's a little bit of boxing, we having a fun show. Whenever you want to get back, we can. I think we good talking. I think they having fun with this. Rosscott out there making fun of you though for not watching SpongeBob, bro. He was telling me about the imagination with the box.
Squidward. Imagine nah, Rosscott.
That shit was funny. Well, that shit was funny, bro. That one was
ignorance to ignore. Yes, I like it, Devontre. I like it, man. I like it. Language pushback, Clay, for sure. Flyer, for sure. So look, let's go ahead and move on to Elvis Rodriguez, who's also going to be on this card. Elvis Rodriguez is kind of been in the background. First of all, this is a 140 fight, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's been back and forth, right?
Let me see. Let me check him out real quick.
I think he's
actually headlining. He's actually headlining this card, so this is a big fight for him. I think he's at 140 on this one. I think this is going to be 140. Elvis is trying to get in the conversation. He was kind of there a little while back, and then Kenneth Sim Jr. kind of derailed him. You know what I'm saying? But now he's trying to get back in the conversation, fighting against Lindolfo Delgado. This guy's an undefeated fighter, 22 wins, 16 KOs. Flat-footed, coming forward. A lot of punches. I got to lean towards Elvis Rodriguez on this one for sure. Hoodrich, what's good, family?
Rightfully so.
Tell him, Hoodrich. I'm not out here trying to watch no SpongeBob SquarePants. I got things going on in my life, bro. I'm too busy, bro. Can't do it.
Nah, this shit. Come on, Hoodrich. You know that shit funny. That's why you laugh.
Why is it funny? Why is
it's got adult humor, bro. As much as it goes over the kid's head, it's all adult humor. That's tell you, Doodle Bob, that shit was funny. See, you don't know about Doodle Bob. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo.
I don't
shit.
So Money Motivate, you don't like how Elvis looked in his last two fights?
Nah.
Pedestrian. Why? Because he went to the decisions. You went to the scorecards.
Yeah, I think I got the other cat.
You think so? You think it's over? You think that the hype job is over with? Lindolfo.
Delgado's a good fighter, bro. I watched Delgado. I forgot who he fought.
I'm saying the hype job in Elvis. You think Elvis has been exposed?
I don't think it's been exposed. I just think that, you know what I mean? As you step up in competition, Clay, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got fighters that are just the guys you don't, it's almost like the punch you don't see coming, bro. It's just sometimes you got these guys that are just roadblocks. We've seen it with Vernon Forrest and Shane Mosley, bro. It just happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Look at.
I think he got beat down 2 fights ago against Gino Rodriguez, but it looked like it was just like they were both putting each other down. Like it was just a whole lot.
Like our boy Ali, right? You know what I mean? So look at him. You know what I mean? Everybody was thinking that Michelle Rivera gonna be this guy. He got into the ring, got credit for a lot of stuff, and there you go. You know what I mean? Like he got beat by what's the name and was never the same. We don't even hear about Michelle Rivera no more. Which I think he should definitely be in the competition of championships. He only lost to Frank Martin, and that was a tough fight. But he got exposed. I can't believe he just asked Flyer Frequency that. Flyer Frequency damn near your age, Bradley. I won't put that out there, but shit. He put it out there. That's funny though. In all due respect. Yo, see, Doodle Bob, Clay, look, Hillbridge, he like, yo, it's crazy. Crazy work. I'm telling you, bro. Yo.
I'm watching these highlights here with Elvis. Yeah, Elvis. Yeah, that was a nice shot right there. Elvis, and then he caught him with a nice little short right hook right here, right in the middle. Just caught him right in him and dropped him on his pockets. I see what you're saying, man. I see what you're saying. Let me check out one more thing here.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a tough fight for him, man.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, this is a rite of passage fight, right? Like this fight right here is either like you still got it or you're done.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think he can still win with another loss. I mean, it's only improvements, right? Fail to improve only gives you more time to improve, if I'm not mistaken. That's all why they call it like failure is the point you make corrections. So I just think it's a little bit here, a little bit there. He has to tweak to get back in contention. He'll be fine. He's young in his career, so he's got time. You know what I mean? Like right now is the time for him to be taking this adversity. So why not? Why not get in there with some good fighters and some decent dance partners that'll help you get better in the ring? Because look at most of the champions that we acknowledge. 6-7 losses, but they've been acknowledged as great champions. Manny Pacquiao, Ali, 5 losses. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of a few people that's even Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I mean? A couple losses here and there never stopped them from being who they are. Even Canelo with 3 losses on his resume, even though they count too. But you know what I mean? It doesn't stop you from moving forward. It just helps you fine tune the things that are missing in your game. So
yo, you ain't lying. By the way, I'm looking at Rodolfo Delgado, and
he's gonna put hands on that boy.
He gonna put hands on.
I mean, put hands on him.
I gotta, yeah, bro. Hold on a second. Let me just see one more thing here. Hold on a second, man. Hold on a second here, man. Man, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, man. Hold on. Let's take a look at this. For
educational purposes, Clay, post that video. Share that clip.
I can't share that clip. You know what the rules is, man?
No, for educational purposes, you can. Absolutely.
Okay.
Just gotta hide the logo.
Now, here against Kendo Castaneda, he looked like he was a little bit more poised, but he looked a little more poised here. It looks like when he fought against Ringo, he kind of expected to get him out of there and kind of expected to knock him out, so he kind of overcommitted. But he looks like if he has respect, he has no problem standing behind that jab. He has no problem. I'm still going with Elvis Rodriguez. I'm still going with Rodriguez on this one. I'm still going with it.
I'm all for it.
I'm still going with him on it.
Hey, yo, that was good, bro.
I'm still going with him.
He's a good fighter.
Right. Oh, for sure, Rich. Definitely do that. Definitely do that.
We say you're gonna mail you a copy of the SpongeBob collection.
Hold on a second. We're saying, yeah, but no time soon, my boy. My knees perfect. Still in the ring, stopping dudes. You might make a comeback. You talking about getting in there? All right, Rich. Can't wait to see that.
What wait, yo, Rich?
What weight class you fighting at, Rich?
170.
He said 170.
Just kidding.
Oh, I'm about to be like,
No,
bro.
he probably 168.
Hold on a second here. Let me go ahead and accept this right quick.
Or 155. Okay. So that means you're gonna be 147. That's about right. That'd be good for you if you were at 155. That's you in training right now at 155. Because I thought you said you was about 170 or something before.
Okay, I got you right here. Wait, yeah, I got you right here. We good. I got you. I definitely got you, man. What's your pro record? Bop, 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 bop. No, I got Elvis. I'm going to go with Elvis Rodriguez in that fight, but I think it's going to be a good fight. Definitely. What do you think about the Janibek fight coming up?
Easy win.
Easy win. Wow.
Easy win. Janibek. Easy win. He's fighting A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, P, Q, R, S, W. Yeah, all the alphabet letters.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know how to say the guy's last name. He got 27 letters in his last name. You try figuring it out.
Oh, yeah, he got one of those names.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's who he fighting.
Fighting,
just roll with me, Clay. Roll with me.
Nagasenge. See? Come on, bro.
Say what?
Nagasenge.
Okay. God bless you.
Look, 14 wins, 0 losses, 9 knockouts, bro. It is what it is.
Okay.
Janibek, 16 wins, 0 losses, 11 knockouts. They're not that different. Let me check them out on let me see what he's been doing, bro.
I can't say
the year of the upsets, man.
Okay, hold on. Is it body snatching or upsets? Which one is it? We got to go with one. It can be both. It can be both. It can be both. I respect that.
Let me see. Yeah, he looks a little slow, man. He looks a little slow. He telegraphs his punches a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's name? Straight to the point, bro. He gonna meet.
Gonna get him. Let me see.
Hit him right on the button, bro. He gonna knock him out. First loss would be the worst loss, bro. He's a French guy, bro.
He kind of wings his shots a little bit. Hold on, let me see him here. Right, he looking decent right here. He lets his hands go.
3 cuts in your eyebrow, trying to wild out. You know what I mean?
I got you, Rich. I got some shit to say. Where the link? No doubt. Oh, no doubt. Let me do that. Let me hit the link.
I got it. Oh, he don't got IG no more. I ain't got no other way of contacting him. So, yo. Let's go.
No excuses, but it's some ish.
No SpongeBob talk, bro. Clay don't watch SpongeBob.
Look at who he's been knocking out. I think half his opponents have losing records. Yeah, running Reb, 100%. Yeah, I think he's
Say his name again?
Out there.
Hold on. Yeah, he's gay. Yeah, he's gay.
He's gay?
Not in the sense of his last name, G-U-E. That's his last name. Nagun Umsing gay. I'm not making it up. He's a happy guy.
That name is diabolical, bro.
Yo, he got mad. Yeah,
his record is straight up manufactured. It's 100% artificially flavored. What's up, Hood Rich? What's good with you, family?
What up?
Rich is working out the mic. You definitely muted, man. We don't hear you. You're definitely muted.
Yeah. You hear me now?
Yeah, he is.
All right. Give me 5 seconds. Hold up.
Okay, go ahead. Take your time, man. Yeah, he's definitely super manufactured, bro. He's super manufactured. This guy's gonna get put out of there.
What fights y'all looking at?
The Janibek and Anuel fight for that unified middleweight title.
Oh, Janibek, cool. I ain't gonna lie. I want to see him at Adame's fight.
I think that's naturally probably going to be the next fight.
But I think he beats Adames, man. Adamas is good though.
I ain't gonna lie. Like Adamas is like he moved like Canelo a little bit. Like he moved just like Canelo, but I don't know. Like when he fought against Shiraz, all that upper body movement, it reminded me of Canelo. Like I like Adamas.
He got fast feet though, bro. His steps getting in and out is quick. He was in Shiraz face in like 30 seconds. Pause.
He showed you what he can do, but
that it was that reach. It was that reach for real.
Right. But the question is, will he do it? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he did it against Hamza Shiraz, who really let him do that, right? Like Hamza never really
never had experience like that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go walk the dog. I'll be right back.
All right. He didn't give him the pushback, you know what I mean, that he needed to give him to make Carlos be a little bit more honest. Like Carlos would let off some shots, hit him to the body, kind of look at him like, oh, you gonna let me do it? Or I'm gonna come back and do it again. I'm gonna come back. Oh, I'm gonna do it to you all day then, if you ain't gonna stop me. But I don't know how he does when he gets in the ring with a Janibek who's not gonna let that slide. Janibek ain't gonna let him just do that.
It's like Shiraz, it was like he was like a deer in headlights. Like he was saying stuff he never seen before. Like he was green. Like that, like that's why he was like a little, he wasn't like intimidated, but he ain't want to throw nothing and get hit by him crazy. Cause I seen him like trying to do that. Like he'll play with him, make a miss, and he'll try to hit him. But Shiraz was always kept that guard up, like, no, like, but man.
Talk about it, Rich.
This gonna piss a lot of people off, but it's the truth. Sometimes the truth sound like bullshit. It do, for real. Sometimes the truth really sound like bullshit, like for real. And like, I was with him like last week, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And like, he not down about it. He not down because he know he could have did better for real. But it was just so much shit going on, like through the build up, like stuff that Lamont was saying was true. He was like, I hear you not like all the way in it. Keep playing, like I'm gonna make it look like a cakewalk, like. And like when I heard him say that, I'm like, who is this nigga's sources? Like how did he like? And like it's crazy because before the press conference and all that, I was with him. And like I felt it. I'm like
he not focused. Like he
like and then like the whole thing, like me personally, bro, everybody, Kenny and them would tell you, bro, like that's why like this camp I wasn't with him like that, because Barry Hunter is not good for him. Like it was stuff he was doing, training and all that, like out DC, that I was seeing, and I was like, bro, he don't do this. Like, what is Barry doing? Like, why are you trying to change him to be this fighter when he this fighter? He's an animal, bro. You can't make him like a chihuahua. Like, you feel me? Like he is a pit bull. You can't make him to a chihuahua. Like it was just certain stuff he was doing, and like I was like, bro, Lamont ain't the right one. And then like I get on here and I see people like saying like it was a cherry pick, and I'm like, bro, Lamont ain't no cherry pick, bro. Like he's slow as hell, and it was crazy because I'm watching the fight, and I'm like, bro, it's not like he fast or he doing stuff Tank never seen before. He really slow, like he's slow. So like, and then at the fight backstage, Tank said the same thing, but I felt like it was more like they knew each other, like they slept in the same bed and all that. And like they pause, but like not like that, but like when you young,
you don't say it. It's the internet. It's gonna go ham. Go ahead.
True, like and like I ain't gonna say like he wanted to help his friend out, because I don't think it was that. I just felt like he ain't really want to press the button and really, because like his mother know his mother, like it's really family, just like how Shakur and him, like it's just like that. But I feel like he gave Lamont the opportunity, and Lamont just went like berserk with it, like press tour. Like I'm not saying like he ain't supposed to do that, but bro, you know damn well, you know what's up. Like Like you said it, like you said it. So it's like it just made me think of it like, bro, the rematch, you know what you gotta do. Ain't no half stepping, ain't none of that. Calvin back now, so it shouldn't be no problem. Like Barry,
that was gonna be a question. So Calvin's back. Is Barry still there? But Calvin's like the number one spot, or is it?
No, Barry gone. I ain't gonna lie, they played it so good, like to the point like everybody thought like Calvin was cool with it and all that. Like I know, like what, like how,
So
like,
let me ask you this, Rich. Right?
mm-hmm.
What was ultimately, from your understanding, the reason behind Calvin Ford's role in this particular camp?
See, that's one thing I really can't speak on because it was a reason. Like when, like y'all was right the whole time. Like y'all was right. Like Tank and Calvin bump heads and all that. Yeah, they did. But I can't speak on it. What it's about. You feel me? Like, but it was like ain't like just picture in your head what will make a fall, like what would make Devin Haney and Bill Haney separate. You feel me? And that's what it is. So Calvin, they just had a long talk. Like I was there, like all that. Like I was there. I listened to it. Like they both got off with what they need to out their chest, and now they back. They like, you feel me? Like they back as one. So
it was. I would hope that it wasn't about no money, right? Like that. I know Calvin's been trying to do some things. I know he has that gym, and I know he's trying to do a lot for the community. And I know those things take a certain financial investment for those things to move accordingly with what he wants to do for the future of Baltimore boxing.
yeah,
I can only imagine, the idea needing a certain kind of support.
it was stressful, man. Like I ain't gonna lie. It was stressful on everybody, like because I could see like going into the gym, something was on Calvin's mind, but he would never speak of it. But I knew what it was. Me, Kenny, and me and all of we knew what it was, but the kids ain't know. So he wasn't giving his real energy that he usually get. And I was like, I know exactly what it is. Like it ain't.
Am I heading in somewhat of the right direction a little bit as far as all right, man, it's cool that you might want to walk away from the sport at some point. You might not be happy with, the current situation with the arrangement that's being made with maybe, Amazon or the PBC or stuff like that. But, what about the kids? Did Tank kind of separate himself and isolate himself a little bit more than Calvin would want him to?
Yeah, because like I feel like me personally, I feel like Calvin really wanted him like to be there for the kids so they can see like y'all can do it. But you gotta think, me personally, every time he come to Baltimore, I tell him leave because I know how the city is and I know every time you come here something bad happens. So you feel me? Like I'm not telling you to stay away. You can come home and all that, but it's just I don't know. Like it's a hard position because he love his city and it's like he want to be here, but he know like the city ain't for him. Like that's why it just be a lot going on. Like people just be trying to get money out of him. Like everybody, like even if you went to school with him in first grade, like stuff like that. But
yeah, remember me, Tank? I was sitting 3 seats behind you in Miss XYZ's class. And you're like, what? Yeah.
It's always about that. So like,
how? So right now, Rich, where are you? And I'm trying to be like, because I know certain things I'm not going to ask you, so I'm not going to put you in that position, right? But what I'm going to say is, where are you with the list of fighters that Tank was going to fight? Is this list gone pretty much? Is he just pretty much just handling his obligations at this point and making his way out the sport?
Honestly, that's why, like, to be honest, I'm not even mad at the draw with Lamont because what he was like, he told me before, but he switched his answer. And I'm like, what? So, like, when I heard before he made the ring walk who he was going to call out, I'm like, no, bro. Like, no. Like, me and him almost got into an argument when he walking out and all that. I'm like, no, bro. Like, how? Like, how can you do that? Like, you feel me? Like, how? Like, as a brother, bro. Like, I know you, like, bro, you got the money, bro. Why do you need to do that? So
Right.
like when the draw happened, I was like, this probably can make him get back. Like after that potential fight, after that,
Right.
you feel me? So when the draw happened, I'm like, I wasn't really mad because I'm like, he need this. You feel me? He need this because he getting too ahead of himself. Like, to be honest, like this me talking. So you know, like I don't usually
No,
say
I know
stuff.
that's why I'm staying quiet and because I know that it's going to be some genuine perspective, and that's why I'm saying like, so has there been a recalibration and a reset in the thought process, or is it still in the air? You know what I'm saying? Like what I mean by that is obviously with the decision he was going to make on who he was going to call out, which I think I know who it was, right? I feel like it's going to be, I think it's the elephant in the room is that it was not going to be a 135-pound fighter. Can
Yeah,
we say that? Okay.
Yeah.
So that being said, making that kind of call, the arrangements, the weight, everything he was going to have to do in order to get ready for this fight, it was going to be difficult for him to come back.
it was impossible.
Impossible, right? For him to come back and be like, okay, now I'm back in this other conversation. So in real time, he was really working his way out the sport. He was doing this and not caring. He wasn't looking back. He was going to do this and then pretty much be done with boxing as we know him in boxing. Is that fair to say?
And it's crazy. And it's crazy because I was watching you and Blue last night.
Right.
And y'all hit it right on the nose. Like y'all was like, how if he do this, how can he come back down to 135?
Right.
And I damn near I was like, wow, bro. Like wow.
How is he gonna do this? And also, how was the fan base who's been supporting him so loyally for all this time gonna defend it? What were they gonna say when it came all down to it? How were you gonna defend it? What were you gonna say?
Couldn't.
Because you know me and Blue gonna talk about it frankly, right? And be like, this is ridiculous. But of course, we're gonna get we're hating and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I always try to communicate. And I said it the other day. I don't know if you watched it. I said I got a dude who comes here, Hood Rich. Well, I got so much respect for him that I will never play with Tank's face off the strength of it. I don't know Tank, but just all the respect I got for you, I'm not playing with that man's face. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep it real on this boxing talk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna speak about this boxing. You know what I'm saying? And so, of course, in the position that I'm in, I'm going to speak on it frankly and tell you that this move is a spit in the face of his fans,
It was
of the people who supported him, right? The people who supported him and fought for him and was like, y'all crazy, y'all don't know this, y'all don't know that. It's just like, damn, bro, don't make them look like that. Hold it down for them at least, because they support you so loyally. Don't make them look like that. Give them one to shut us all up. To the people who think that we hating, give your fans something that gives them some ammunition to shut us up. Don't give us something that's gonna have a step on their neck even more.
Exactly. And like it's crazy because, bro, I swear on my life, bro. Like I swear on my life, like he can beat Shakur, but it's like, why are you not fighting this nigga, bro? Like it's to the point like. He be getting mad at me for saying it because I'm like, bro, you can beat him. You already know you can beat him. Like, you know he little, bro. You know you can beat him. Why? This nigga chirping. Got everybody thinking he can beat you. You scared of him. Come on, bro. Like, it's not even about boxing no more. Like, come on, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, that's why, like, I was mad because I was like, bro, you told people he was on the list. You know they hold you to everything you say, everything, things that you probably don't even mean to say. They hold on to it for life. So it's like, come on, bro. Like it be making me mad because I know you can beat him, bro. I know, like, I don't think I know, like, so I don't know, bro. Like it's just, I don't know, but it's like he definitely losing the fire, bro. Like it's definitely hard to get out silk sheets, but when I left him. He was in the gym for 3 weeks straight. So it's like, you got it back. Like I don't know. Like, it's hard, bro. Like, it's hard. I love him to death, but it's like
yesterday I spoke on it, right? And I was speaking on the show. And you watched the show, you probably heard me. And I said, everybody was like, why this, why that? I said, he's rich.
Yeah.
And
filthy rich.
And it's like, you guys can't empathize with his position. and understand what he's saying when he's looking at boxing and he's looking at the sacrifice that he has to make to be who he is, to maintain that. There's a certain motivation, right? That I said yesterday, boxing is always, boxers always have said, because I've never been a boxer, boxers have always said it's a 75 to 80% mental thing and 20% physical, because you've been working on boxing your whole life to the point where it's second nature to you, where you're just keeping yourself sharp. You just are who you are, right?
Right.
You've been working so hard at it, but if mentally you're not able to get up for these fights, you put yourself in a lot of danger. And I think Tank understands that. That's why he's just like, I don't even want to get the therapy that he was talking about he wanted to get for himself, because he doesn't want to lose that edge that he believes carries him through these fights and carries him through these training camps, right? Like that edge to be the best and to not look bad and to not lose and, you know, entertain and entertain the crowd and be that guy. That edge seems to be leaving Tank a little bit, where he's just like, I don't know if I'm willing to do it anymore. Somebody brought up Andre Ward yesterday in the chat yesterday, and I said, Andre couldn't get up no more, right? Like you say he left the game because of injuries, but those injuries were always there.
Right.
But his mentality made him work through the injuries and made him but he started to wake up in the morning and be like, why am I doing this to myself?
Right.
For what? I'm good money. My investments are sound. I got generational wealth. My family's out of whatever situation it was in before I went into boxing. So what is it that I'm doing this for again?
And then it come to a point just like Bud. If I can't get this Canelo fight, I'm gone. What am I fighting for? You feel me? That's the same thing with Ward. I forgot. I don't know if it was. Yeah, it was Canelo. He wanted to fight Canelo too. He like, man, if I can't get Canelo, I'm gone. Like everybody gonna say his injuries. Huh?
Yeah, I said, yeah, I'm done. Right? Like, if it's not going to be the one that I need or I want for my own, this is personal. This is personal ambition we're talking about right now, right? This is, we're not trying to impress the crowd no more, the fans, the pundits in the game. We're not trying to impress these people no more, because we've done the work already to either have impressed them already, or we're never going to impress them, right? So we're past the silliness of it all. Now it's about me. What do I want and need? What's left for me in this sport that I need to do for myself? And if that box is not getting checked properly, it's going to be hard to get up for these fights.
And like, I see people in the comments asking, what do I believe about the Roach and Tank fight? I had it. What did I have it? I think I had it 8. No, not 8-4. I think I even had an 8-4, or like, I was cool with the draw because it could have went either way, because he genuinely didn't know what round it was, and I fought that again, the Barry Hunter.
But what's that about, the round thing? Like,
he really looked up and was like, oh shit, like we in the last round. Like, he really didn't know.
But why is he
nobody told him.
But why is he concerned about, like, is he planning on turn? Is Tank the kind of fighter that's coming in with like, all right, I'm gonna turn up after this point?
He never turned it on, ever.
Because he was waiting. He's waiting to turn it on.
He thought he had more time. Like, he was trying to still feel him out. Like, you know, like he usually come on to the later round. So when he's saying it was the last round, why do you think he came out better the last round than the whole fight? But Lamont, I ain't gonna lie, bro. They like all they fights been like that. All they fights. That's why Lamont confidence been like that. So I knew what it was. Everybody was calling him a cherry pick. I'm like, no, man. No, like y'all got
even me. The reason I don't know if I ever did call him an actual cherry pick, but I did.
But you said nobody wanted to fight. That was, you feel me? It was cool, but cherry pick is different. Like, this is like, he's a bum. I get it. Nobody want to fight. Like, that's just like saying nobody would want the Zepeda fight over the Shakur fight. So I get it. But
yeah.
I don't know, bro. Like,
let me ask you this, Rich. Has Tank been very honest with the boxing space for the past year and a half? In other words, what he's been saying in his interviews, is that representative of how Tank really feeling, or has Tank been trolling and marketing himself?
This what I know. He really wanted the fights, but something came up. Something came up, and it was like, you gotta fight. Basically, for real, like they trying to get everybody under Turkey. That's what they want to do. And he showed, he expressed him like, bro, I'm not going over there. I'm not fighting under him. So like, everybody he got to fight is with them now. So it's like, like, let me just fight Lamont or Loma, like, because I'm not. He see how they doing people down there. He like, man, I'm not going down there. Even though they can bring it down here, but it's still under Saudi. So it's like, no, like, I'm not. They're gonna have to come over here and fight. So and they not with that. So I get that. Look how many robberies we seen down there, but we seen robberies here too. So it's like, I don't know, bro. I just feel like me personally, like,
do you think Tank's just in his head too much? In his own head? Do you think, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, is he just in his head? Do you think the isolation and the, I think he lives in I think he lives in Florida, right? Like he does.
Yeah, he got a house down there, yeah.
Right. So he seems like he's been super focused on like insulating himself from what he thinks is toxic energy, right? He's insulating himself from negative things and drama, and he's kind of on purpose putting himself in staying out the way, unless he has to be outside and dealing with like social media or dealing with just boxing in general. Unless he's training, getting ready for a fight, it seems like he's insulated. Is that an accurate depiction of where he's at, kind of?
That's a good question.
The reason I'm asking it is because, do you think that could be hurting him to a degree where he's a little bit too much in his head? You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when you left to your own thoughts and vices too long, you start to kind of like, you start to argue with yourself a little bit.
I ain't gonna lie, this might sound a little cliche, but I feel like when he did that to Hector Garcia and Frank Martin, he like, I ain't gonna lie, like, he never disliked Frank Martin. So like, when he put him out like that, in the moment he ain't feel bad, but when he look back on it, he don't really like knocking people out. It just had
that he liked. Yeah.
So like
I'm sure he ain't mind stopping Ryan. He ain't mind stopping.
He ain't mind mind that. But
yeah,
the Frank, that's why I feel like he really ain't want to knock Lamont out. But I don't really know the question, the answer to that, because he'll say this one day and say this the next day. So
my thing is, as you being his friend and somebody who talks to him, do you find at times where you're like, you good, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like you can kind of see it on his forehead and his face, like in his eyes. You can kind of see like he's not in the same room with you at the same time that you're in the room with him. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, like he's there, but he ain't there. Yeah.
We kind of snap like, hey, fam, you good? You need a moment? You want 5 minutes? You want some time to yourself, bro? You all right?
Another thing though, it's like, I ain't no pity party, but it's definitely trauma in him. So like, it's trauma in everybody, but when you at that level, it hit different. Like, be like, damn, I made it, bro. I don't really gotta do nothing. I don't gotta work. I don't gotta do nothing. So it's like, when you get the millions, it's like, it's hard to really get in the ring. Like, it is. That's why you see people retire early and stuff. And like, I'm glad that Coach Calvin back. I ain't gonna lie. I think he really need like to really go somewhere, ducked off, no phone, no remote, nothing, like, and just lock in, like, just see, you feel me? Like, the rematch is going to happen though, but I heard May, and then I heard June, and now I'm hearing another opponent. So it's like, I gotta go holler at him about that too. So I'm like, bro, the streets ain't gonna let you get away without running that back. Like, that. Like,
yeah, I'll be honest with you, Rich. If he doesn't run it back with Lamont, and Lamont runs it with Shakur or runs it with Keyshawn and moves in that kind of direction, it's gonna compound the situation, to say the least. It's gonna compound it
for sure. Like,
it's gonna make it like, yeah, man. I'm being honest with you. me personally, the way I see it, I think Tank needs the therapy. I think the therapy he's talking about, I think he needs it. But I think the war is, I think he has a little bit of a fear of what that therapy is going to turn him into as far as a fighter is concerned.
He gotta make a decision. He gotta make a decision.
Yeah.
Cause I'd be damned, bro. It's gonna hurt me more than anybody. Like, it's gonna hurt me more than his mother. It's gonna hurt me more than his brother. It's gonna hurt me more than anybody if I see Tank get knocked out. Like, for real. Like,
right.
For real. Like, cause, like, bro, man, I damn near, like, on some real shit, like, me as a brother, bro, like, I probably really, like, damn near drop a tear, because it's like, bro, what? Like,
because I think it's because the underlying issues, and you're gonna feel like this ain't the real Tank.
Yeah,
that just got clipped like this, and they're gonna just break him. They're gonna step on him.
Yeah, they ain't gonna care. They're gonna be like, man, I told y'all. They're
gonna say he been this dude. He was a hype job the whole time, and it's gonna be hard to be like, y'all don't understand. There was a change that you guys just ain't gonna acknowledge because you want it to be an excuse, but you're not trying to. And we're in a dog eat dog world, in a very mean world where people won't take the time to step to the side and say, acknowledge, like, this is deeper than boxing. You know what I mean? We're dealing with somebody who's conflicted more than he is. He's super conflicted, and he's weighing out how these conflicted thoughts are going to affect him in a ring where his life is on the line. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's weighing these things out, and he has obligations, and he has people that are looking to him to kind of like stay where he's at right now for a little bit longer, probably for money reasons, right? And he's conflicted, and I can understand that. I see Ross Scott in the back and Coach Eddie. Hold on for me, guys. I just want to have this conversation with Rich without all the multiple things coming from multiple different directions. I wanted it to be this kind of conversation. But I see you guys back there. I'll pull you up in a minute. But yeah, I try to be as transparent about it as possible. When we're talking about Tank, we're talking about boxing, you know what I'm saying? But this particular conversation we have right now is not about boxing. It's more about where he's at, but it does translate into the ring, and what that looks like translating into the ring. I feel like it's I don't want to say tragedy, but I feel like, when they talk about timing, I'm fearful that the timing ever going to be back where Tank is where the Tank I want to see in the ring with these guys. I'm fearful that Tank might be gone.
Yeah, and like another thing, though, a lot of people didn't notice, like, it's not even nothing boxing related. Like, it's like 5% boxing related, but the other stuff is outside the ring. Family, like, if y'all notice, his mother ain't been to the fight.
I've noticed a lot of things changed around him. Even in that locker room, it's like where I don't see a lot of. It seems like that's why I said earlier about the isolation. Do you think he's over isolating himself? Do you think him removing all these things that he considers to be toxic, do you think that could have left him to his own thoughts and in his own guilt a little bit, kind of understanding that I made these decisions because I thought it was the best thing for me, but I might be having a little bit of survivor's remorse a little bit right now, being here when it's all said and done. I'm kind of here by myself, low key. How is that affecting you?
You hit that on the money, Clay. You hit
Good job, buddy.
Money, Clay. Oh my gosh, like, that's everything that I couldn't say right there. Everything that I couldn't say, you just said it. Yeah, survivor's remorse. Yep. Like, everybody came up with dead or gone, except for me and a couple other people. Cut his family off, damn near. His brother still with him though, but yeah, survivor's remorse. Like, it just hit different, bro. Like, it hit different. Like, and I'm holding back because I can't really say a lot.
I know.
It's like, you hit that on the money though, Clay. I ain't gonna lie.
I think it's that's why I didn't bring nobody else up here. because I know people in the back want to be like, Rich, what you talking about? You did he? You know, they want to talk about the boxing part and turn it up on you. But I really wanted to get an opportunity to kind of like just get the perspective of somebody I know who cares for him.
Yeah.
To just give a real perspective on how you feel about what you're seeing, not about the fight between him and Lamont, but the reality was what it looks like. Hindsight, what it looks like is everything he was saying from that press conference in New York
right back.
to the one in DC, right? To the whole, every single thing he said, where people were just like, people were ignoring it, right?
Yeah.
Nah, that's Tank selling the fight. That's how he does. Y'all don't know nothing about marketing, and you know what I mean. He came out 3 hours late on a press conference because he was building it up. Y'all just eat up everything, and I'm just like, nah, man. I'm seeing him going through something, and I didn't hear enough people talking about that. Like the fans are so, and that's why I feel like Tank is so disconnected with his fans, because they I'll be honest with you, Rich, they don't really be supporting Tank. They really just be wanting to argue on these channels, right? Yeah. So you see somebody going through something and you not even like acknowledging that. Like, man, what's going on with Tank? Because you don't care, right? You care more about exploiting his likeness so your channel could blow up, so you can make super chats, and you're exploiting it. So he's not on none of your channels. He ain't doing interviews with you guys. He ain't speaking to you guys because there's no genuine energy. You're not seeing it. How can you not see it? How can you not see his disenchantment with the sport? How can you not see he's having? How could you not notice the circle got tight? How could you not notice the space between him and Calvin? And not know that represents some sort of like, you know what I'm saying? There's something going on there. How do you lie all these things?
I tried it. I tried to pull a rabbit out the ass, man. I tried to lie. Be like, man, Calvin and Tank, they good, man. They good. But as soon as I got this app, I'm like, damn, they know. Like
something going on. There's a relationship going on there. And now the question is, how are all these things affecting him?
And like,
how are they affecting him?
Another thing though, my bad to cut you off though. Like, if y'all go back and like y'all watch the gloves off with Lamont and Tank, Lamont knew, like he knew the whole time. Like he knew, like, man, I ain't got nothing to worry about, man. I already know how he coming. Like he knew, and I'm like, that gave me chills because I'm like, bro, who is giving this nigga this info? Like, how did he know this? Like, nobody around Tank but close family and all. Like, who is, you feel me? Like, how do you know this? Like,
I think, Rich, I think you can just read the thing, and that's why I said, I remember I said it on a show before. Me and Ray were talking. I'm said, does this version of Tank that's coming into the ring, is this the best opportunity for somebody like Lamont Roach right now? Do you remember when I said that? I was like, yo, if he's not completely dialed in right now, is this the one Tank that is most susceptible to losing a fight right now?
Right.
Come on now. When the last time y'all seen? Well, I really can't say that, but Shakur showed up to the fight. Paul showed up. Like, it's like, you feel me? Like,
they was ready to jump in the ring, man. Like, I feel you. And look, and for all due respect, like when Clay and I were building on the conversation, you tapped in one day and just said that we was right. When I was like, look, this is the situation where you got a guy from across the street that knows you, man, and when you're going through certain things, they know, they get those vibes. It's a rivalry. It's like an old school rivalry, and y'all just basically just kept playing. Let's just look at basketball. I want to keep it boxing, but they on the same court every day, and they just keep meeting, and they on different teams every day. They always pick their teams, but they always going at each other because they're just the best in the neighborhood. And what happens? One guy just excels, one guy stays, you know what I mean, in the hood and still plays street ball. One guy gets to
but
whatever.
Just nice as you.
Right. But then at the same time, that guy knows you so well, even when you're at that level, y'all go, you know what I mean, y'all meet at the courts, y'all still, you know what I mean, he know you that well that y'all there. And like Bradley, in all due respect, bro, I never called this guy a cherry pick. It's all good. Now the question was, and I'm gonna clarify this for the last time, and I really don't want to go on this topic no more, and I'm ignoring all the chats right now. This is the last time I'm going to address this. The question was asked, do I see this as a cherry pick? And I said yes. And in the story, it wasn't, I said, I'm sorry, cherry pick going wrong. Not a cherry pick going wrong. It could it be? And I said, yes, it can be. And then I built on it, and that was it. I
Right.
don't want to talk about it no more. So anyway, moving forward, Hood, you know what I mean? We always talk about this, and you've been on the channel before, so you know what we say, and you know how we feel. We talk
Yeah,
behind the
yeah,
scenes.
yeah.
We talk behind the scenes. Yeah, this was just one of those fights that just like even the emotions and the feelings and everything, and watching everything going around, and everybody celebrating one thing on one side of the street because they're fans and they love the excitement of Gervonta. They ignored the real feelings of Gervonta, and I think we were out there saying it. I mean, you had guys behind the scenes trying to exploit him and things of that nature, and nobody was really paying it. All they did was ignore it and like try to throw Devin a wrench or throw Shakur a wrench. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, let's move the needle. You know, this happens, instead of trying to really like, you know what? Let's not even bring this up. Let's not even. Clay never wanted to bring none of this stuff up. He never talked about none of this.
Right.
About the exploitations and the hair thing and the guy talking about. We never talked about that.
Yeah,
respectfully, we didn't, because it wasn't boxing. It's outside the ring, and those are things that are just sidetracked, right? And then you have all these people that support Tank. They're talking about it, but they don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, we're just supporting them, and then they move the needle to try to address something else with other possible opponents, and made it worse, believe it or not, than help Gervonta, which is crazy.
Yeah, I talk about that shit.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think that, and shout out to Coach Eddie who's in the room. I know Coach Eddie wants to tap in as well, but I think that the disconnect has always been has always been that with a lot of the fans a little bit, right? The disconnect has kind of always been there with Tank when it comes to what drives him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And when we're talking on it and speaking on it and just trying to keep it 100, and you know, I've always said, like, in these fights, even you've seen me on other platforms, they say who's going to win between Tank and Shakur. I've always said I got to lean towards Tank, right? So the picture that people want to paint of as far as wanting to see Tank lose, it's not about that, bro. It's wanting to see him fight the best so that you can see the best version of Tank. You want him to. You want to see the best version of him. When you hear Calvin talking about you ain't seen nothing, I want to see something. You feel me? Like you're saying that to me is just gonna make me want to see the thing that you say I haven't seen yet, because I know that's gonna manifest into great boxing. But everybody's allowed to go through stuff and be somewhere. But like I said about 10 minutes ago, the biggest fear for me is, have we missed? Is there any going back? Tank has made these changes in his circle. He's tightened his circle up. He doesn't have the same people around him no more. Around that time when he had those people, he was the best version of Tank as far as inside the ring. But Tank has made his priority being the best version of himself in life right now. As a man, he wants to be a better person. But does that align with him being the best version of himself inside the ring? Does that make sense? Like, does the best version of Tank outside the ring, the man who's in control of his emotions, taking care of his kids, has that relationship with his daughter, you know, moving forward, whatever the woman in his life is going to be, you know, all those things that he talked about that he wants to become better at. Well, when he gets there and he becomes that better version of himself, what does that look like in the ring? And I think, and it seems like he has some sort of anxiety about it. Like, yo, if I go get better and I go get fixed up and I go get tuned up by a therapist and I'm this person who I want to be, who am I going to end up being inside the ring? There's no going back for Tank. There's no bringing back the people he pushed out, because even if you were to bring them back, they'd be different, because now they've been pushed out. They might feel some kind of way about how they're going to deal around. So he's going to be around. So he's got to be where he's at. But have we missed out on the opportunity to see the best version of Tank in the ring with a Shakur, a Keyshawn, a Tiafimo, or whoever? Are we past that?
No.
Okay.
No. I can tell you ain't past that, but that's why I say like the blessing and that draw is a disguise. Because if he would have won that fight, ain't no telling if he would have went through with that 168 guy. You feel me? So, oh man, like it's really hard to say, because he'll tell me, yeah, he gonna fight him. Just like you told me, yeah, you're gonna call out this person, but fight night it was this person. Like when this happened, like so. And another thing though, like about that Lamont stuff, like they got one person in cahoots together. One person, just one, the newest person on the team. Come on, man. Like, come on, bro. How do he know all this stuff? Like, I'm not trying to say he was doing this or doing that, but it's just looking fishy. Like, it's looking fishy.
I'm not gonna say the name. I know who it is, but I'm not gonna say it. But
yeah, it's just
I know
fishy.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Let me bring Eddie, Coach Eddie. Let me shout out Pop Shop Talk. Pop Shop says, Rich, we appreciate this, fam. This low key is exclusive, respectfully.
Salute, bro.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know, you know what I'm saying? But so not a lot of people know. I guess they're realizing, you know what I'm saying, understanding that, you know, that you're right next to Tank. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and like that grease thing, bro. That grease thing, I want to talk about this because it's the joke of the century right now. Like it's the joke.
It's definitely the biggest joke of the century, bro. Go ahead, talk on it, bro.
Just like I said when I first jumped on, sometimes when I heard it, I'm like, what? But when he broke it down and like he showed me what grease it was, because that grease do drip, it do. So y'all act like y'all don't get y'all hair cut or get y'all hair done, braided, whatever, and that y'all done take a shower and put grease in it. Like he wasn't nobody. He wasn't.
I ain't got no hair, bro.
I'm not. I have no problem with the hair grease or the something being in his eye. I feel like if he felt like he needed to take a knee, he could. But
y'all can see though. Y'all can see like when he took the knee, Lamont was like, "What is you doing?"
Right. Because he wasn't.
He knew he ain't do no damage to him, but everybody talking about he was hurt. No.
I don't think he was hurt. I think he was frustrated, is what I thought. I thought he was more frustrated than anything like that. But at the same time, more importantly, the reason why he took the knee doesn't even make a difference.
Right.
The referee didn't handle it right. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie though. If they would have counted that knee, I would have
turned up.
I would have been in tears for real. I'm gonna keep it 100. This like my blood brother fighting and he losing. Come on, man. Right. Like, what's my emotions in it? I don't care.
The ref handled it the wrong way. He didn't do his job. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the biggest thing at the end of the day. The knee, for whatever reason you felt like you need to take the knee. If you feel like you need to take a knee, you should take the knee. That's how it works, right? Like if you feel like the knee is what you need a timeout, you need a moment to gather your vision, to do whatever it is you're trying to do. I'm not mad at Tank for taking that knee. And I'm not here to assess why he took that knee so much. Right. I don't care. Right. The reality is though, you took the knee and the knee stopped the fight. And stopping the fight deserves a 10 count. You feel me? Right. It deserves it. You stopped the fight. You stopped the action.
The rules are the rules, though. So I can't get mad at that. But the rules. That's why I wasn't mad when everybody came out and was like, "Oh, that's supposed to be a knockdown." People from outside. "Oh, that's supposed to be a knockdown." I'm like, "Oh, let me go see real quick."
Yeah,
did that. I'm like,
and how close the fight was. It was a big deal. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'd have been different if he blew him out, and then you know, it still would have been wrong, but it was more like, damn, bro, the ref, So I think all that anger and all that frustration and all that accountability was really pointed towards the referee, and I think the Tank fans just took it on their shoulders, and once again, compromised their own credibility for their inability to just be like, nah, the referee didn't do his job. That wasn't knockdown.
And then after the fight, I ain't gonna say after the fight, like 2-3 weeks after the fight, no, like a week or two after the fight, they was on the phone, bro. They was on the phone, and Lamont was like, "I ain't gonna lie, boy, you hurt me like 2, 3, 4 times, like you feel me?" And I'm like, he fucked up by saying that. Like y'all ain't got a rematch or something. Like, come on, bro. Like that's why I know. I see everybody talking just like Ross Cloud. I'm like, okay, the fight was close. Some people can say Tank got his ass whooped. Some people can say Lamont got. You feel me? So, is you betting on a rematch though? Cause like, yeah, y'all bigging Lamont up now, but Ross Clark was the number one person in here talking about it's a cherry pick. Now it's Lamont beat him and all that. Bet on Lamont then, bro. I got whatever that you want to bet, bro.
Let me bring Coach Eddie into the conversation. He's been sitting here quiet and allowing us to build. Coach, are you there, man?
Yeah. I just been enjoying the dialogue, just listening, man. You know.
Oh, okay. I didn't want you to feel like.
No. I got a little something I would like to. Yeah, I would like to add a little something. I understand where my man is coming from. You know, as far as having that emotional attachment to a fighter, I guess he has it on the personal level. So that's something a little bit different than just a guy who just having a favorite fighter who you never met before. Because we all been there. We all had our favorite fighter who we never met before.
That's fact.
But the thing about it, you know, at the end of the day, man, they all lose, man. It is what it is, brother. If Tank continue to hang around, he's gonna lose too. You know, and that's just the nature of the business, man. Just like it was a scene. I always refer back to the movies that was in Undisputed when Wesley Snipes was in his jail cell, and he said, "Hey, at the end of the day, they all lose. 2-0. What wasn't your night? You know, it's always something. You hang around boxing long enough, somebody got your number, man. They're gonna get your ticket, man, and it's gonna be something. Like I said, I was too old, wasn't my night. You know, bad training camp. You know, whatever. We can have a plethora. I won't call it excuses. We'll call them reasons. We won't call them excuses. We'll say reasons. And like you hang around long enough, you know, this what happens, man. And I think with Tank, what I noticed with him, he's more fighting not to lose than to win. You know, I think that's what it is. I think he's definitely afraid of letting people down because he knows if he loses, he's gonna let a whole culture down. So he does not want to lose. Like it's a lot of guys who feel the same way that you feel about Tank. He's looked at like a hero. You know what I'm saying? And he felt like that young man had a lot of pressure on him to perform every single time out. You got to remember, Tank is a little guy. And in order for you to even be where he is, you have to be extremely good. Because little guys usually don't make it that far unless you're good. You got to be good when you're small like that. So I take my hat off to him. He's a good fighter. But he has limits. I think his physical stature has limits while all these big guys was always jumping up and down wanting to fight him because they know they had an advantage over him, which was the size. That's why Devin Haney wanted to fight Tank. Yeah, I want to fight him because I'm 5'10". I can stay away from him. You know, Shakur, they want to fight this kid because Tank is short. His short arms, and you can outbox him. You can win. But if you get clipped, you know, you're going to get knocked out. But as long as you can stay away from that punch, you can actually win that fight. And that's why a lot of guys was jumping up and down, want that fight bad. So for whatever reason, it didn't happen.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I got one thing. I got one thing to say about that. The Tank in this state. Y'all might call me whatever y'all want, but I still don't got nobody beating him, bro. To be honest, I still straight up and down, 12-round fight. I don't got nobody beating him, bro. As long
I think he has to stay in his weight. He has to stay in his weight class. If he starts venturing out of his weight class, he's going to get beat because the guy's going to be too big for him.
I mean, of course, you feel me? Like even just like Bud Crawford, he might lose to Canelo. So it's like
blasphemy.
I'm rocking with Canelo. I ain't gonna lie.
Bud gonna handle that. You welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Listen. There's rumors that if Bud stops, if he stops Canelo, he's on the pills, bro. That's what the rumors in the streets is. I'm just letting you know.
If he ain't popping everybody on them pills, it's all good.
Listen, that's a YouTube street.
As long as the pills he take don't pop him on the test, I'm okay with him taking them.
I'm laughing, bro. Like, listen, I'm all good, bro. I don't really care either way. You know what I mean? Like,
I care. I'm invested. I'm a Bud fan.
I really can't convince myself to make that a true 50-50 fight, bro.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Who you got, Ray?
I'm gonna tell you how I convinced myself of that.
You got Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
I did, right? Then I said I had Canelo, Clay?
Yeah.
Right? And I convinced myself, like, yo, Bud is probably the most premier, exclusive, all-around great boxer of this era, bro. Like, there's nothing and his confidence is so high.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has the opportunity to pull off an upset.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
stop him, difference.
That's it, bro. That man ain't never been.
Beating him around the ring, keeping his distance, using his range, his long arms to tag Canelo and stay away from Canelo's stay at the end of Canelo's jabs. Yes. Do I also see that Canelo can get off the ring and hurt Bud? Absolutely. 50-50.
This man right here. Hold on, I don't even know how to do it. But
Which one?
this man right here.
Okay.
You're that undisputed.
This
Yeah.
man right here.
That's my cousin. That's cinnamon.
That man is a roadblock and a stumbling block. I wish he would just he turned the 168-pound division into a wasteland, man.
Big dude. Holding on to the belt.
Y'all about let me tell you what's gonna happen in September. You know what's gonna happen in September?
No,
you guys are going to fall in love with boxing again.
I ain't gonna lie though.
You already love it, but what you're gonna see in September is gonna break the algorithm, and it's gonna bring so many casual fans across the river. They're going to go from casual to boxing fans, and there's going to be a re-ignition in boxing. Even on the back end of a loss with Bud and Canelo Alvarez, the competitive nature of the fight is going to recalibrate how people look at boxing. People are going to start looking for more super fights. They're going to start revisiting certain ideas of boxing again, because what they thought they knew is about to get tested in September.
I think we got Jerry Cooney versus Larry Holmes all over again. This is going to be a freaking high tribal and racist event that's about to go down in September. It's going to rear 100%. It's going to rear its ugly head the closer the fight gets. Because not only do you have Mexican fans who want Bud to lose, you also have black fans who want Bud to lose, which is diabolical. But it's a true statement.
I don't think people want Bud to lose. I just feel like people just know, just like how you said, limits. There's limits to everybody.
But it's not about limits, Hood Rich. I mean, for you, it might be limits, but most people just still mad about Errol, bro. That's
me. I ain't gonna lie, me, bro. I wasn't an Errol fan. I knew Bud was gonna win, but I'm just saying, I ain't gonna lie. After all that, say if Bud do beat Canelo, right? I don't think that dude retiring, bro.
Really?
I don't think so, bro. That man is a competitor, bro. He gonna be like, man, I beat Canelo. I'm ready to go see if I can beat Usyk. For real.
No. I don't think he's gonna do that. You know what I think he's gonna do? I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I think he's gonna run it. He's gonna run it back with Canelo. He's gonna give him that rematch.
All that.
He's gonna get that bag.
He go to 60, yo.
And then when he's done getting that bag, he gonna walk away from the sport, bro. He done.
No, I think he go to 60, and he runs a little campaign at 60 to get some belts, making him six division champion.
He's about to get from Canelo, bro. I don't see him going back down in pay. I don't see him
going to 54 again. No, but 60, yes, because I think the 154. He already said that's a big division, and Canelo's the smallest guy in the division and probably the best guy from the fight. So 60 would be where he would go. To me,
he won't move down to 160. He can't make the weight anymore.
Not Canelo. I said Bud. If Bud wins, I think he'll drop the belt and go to 60.
Oh.
If he continues his career.
Yeah, go ahead, Ross Scott. But Ross, I want to give you a heads up. You sound like you're far away from the mic, or I don't know if like you. So just letting you know, we're not hearing you. It's clear.
Thomas, head up, bro.
Can you hear me now? Can y'all hear me now?
I mean, we hear you, but it definitely sounds like there's a. But go ahead. We hear you.
If I'm too muffled, I'm just gonna hang up there. I don't want to ruin your show.
No, he's muffled.
I hear him.
Okay, go ahead.
No. I'm gonna hang up because these earphones is bad.
Now we hear you, bro. You good. You can say what you got to say.
Go ahead, Rob Scott.
No, I was gonna say, so Hoodrich brought my name up about Tank. So for one,
Bro, you been
just because I said Tank lost fight to Roach doesn't exclude the fact that he was a cherry pick. He is a cherry pick. He was a cherry pick.
That's why
Number
I
two,
don't know boxing, bro. He's not a cherry.
Let me finish. Number two, whatever Tank got going on in his personal life has nothing to do with what went on in the ring. He got beat up in that ring because he just fought the guy.
Did you ever box before, bro?
Now, if they fight in the rematch, I have Tank winning the rematch. I've said that in the comments, and I've said that on other panels because maybe Tank had fought the wrong fight. Maybe Tank wasn't focused. I don't know. Whatever the excuse is, there isn't one because Roach did a great and excellent job fighting Tank, who, in my opinion, his inactivity hurts him. It failed him that night. It didn't fail him in the past against guys that's drained, but it failed him this night. So all that talk about, whatever he got going on with Calvin Ford and the fans.
I'm not even listening to you, bro.
You gotta, of course you're not, because that's your friend. Of course you're not gonna listen because that's your friend. You just came up with excuses for him. Just give Lamont Roach his props and leave it at that.
I never took props away from Lamont. You guys go to the gym and hit on a heavy bag and post a picture and think y'all know boxing, bro. That's y'all problem, bro.
I mean, I don't know who you're talking about with hitting the bag and pictures. I have no idea what you're talking about. What I'm talking about is Tank and Roach.
Then bet on Lamont, bro. Just bet on Lamont.
Has nothing to do with you. Has nothing to do with none of the fans. All Tank got to do was focus on his fight, and when he fight in the rematch, fight a better fight. Because in the first fight, he lost that fight, and you know he lost that fight, and you couldn't even say that. You could pay with a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deflect, because that's what you're doing, because you know he lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got stopped and all that. Then he not down and all.
I don't know. I just saw Roach move. That's what I saw.
Oh, all right. You done?
All I saw was Roach won. In my opinion, the ref was bad. The ref saved him. You can't call timeout. You can't say there's a hair grease. You can't stop the referee from stopping the count. None of that. So I've never seen that before in boxing. Tank was the first person I ever see say timeout. What do you mean you're counting? And then the referee actually stopped.
You right about that, but didn't Bud Crawford get knocked down twice and nobody called a knockdown?
I'm talking about
Tank. No, that
Davis.
wasn't the same, Rich. Sorry, wasn't the same.
We talking about Tank Davis.
So Gamboa didn't knock his ass down.
Gamboa knocked him down.
That's two different things, man. Missed knockdown happened. We seen a missed knockdown this weekend, bro.
Hey, Clay, didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you that was supposed to be a knockdown? Didn't I say that?
No, I mean, you can call it a knockdown, but the referee didn't call it a knockdown. You know what I'm saying? He decided that maybe he slipped, or maybe he felt like the knockdown, it wasn't a knockdown. This was different. This was a distinct choice to back away from the action, turn sideways, and take a knee. This wasn't a miss. This wasn't
so he
a
knocked him down.
With Bud, at best case scenario with Bud, it was misread by the referee, right? In other words, the ref maybe he went down after Gamboa punched him, and according to the rules, it should have been a knockdown. I don't think it was, by the way, but at the end of the day, it was a misread in the best case scenario by the ref to see it and not feel like it was a knockdown, that he got pushed down. This was different. This was an official Tank making a move to legitimately stop the action. He admitted in the press conference that I did it because I didn't want to get knocked out, because I didn't want to get punched and caught with something, because I couldn't see. I had something in my eye, so I chose to stop the action. You know what I'm saying? So by stopping the action, it's an 8 count. It's different than what happened with
right. And it's in the rule book. When you take a knee, automatically you're buying time. You're doing stuff to put it, like Clay just said, put a halt to the fight. Because you need. Listen, fighters do it all the time. Kerry Kukujai took a knee because he was getting overwhelmed by Bruce
100%.
Ennis, right? Ryan Garcia got hit in the ribs by Gervonta Davis. He did the same exact thing. Should they not have called that a knockdown and let him get back up and continue to fight? We may have a different fight with Ryan Garcia, right? When Tank punched him in the ribs. But Ryan took his knee. He stood there waiting for the count. What I'm saying is people take knees all the time. Kell Brook took a knee because of his eye, then stood up.
But
And
they
the
was
ref asked
actively
him, he said,
getting
no, I want to continue.
But they was
It doesn't matter. No, that makes it worse because they were actually getting beat up. Your man Tank wasn't getting beat up. He just took a knee. So when you getting your butt kicked and you take a knee, that's actually
Is you
more
betting on the
understandable. Hold on one second. That's more understandable if you getting your can kick and you take a knee than the guy getting hair grease in his eye and taking a knee. I can understand you getting your butt. I mean, goddamn Zab Judah was getting beat up by Cotto and he decided to take a knee because he was getting the crap kicked out of him. So I don't know. I mean, what Tank did, he pulled his pants down in the middle of the ring and started taking a piss, and then he stopped the piss mid-screen and pulled his pants back up. That's what he did, brother. You can't unsee that, man. You can't unsee it, brother.
He on some whole Diddy stuff, bro.
No, what he's saying is true though. It's true. What Coach Eddie's saying is true. Like, there's a difference in what Tank did in comparison to what anybody I've seen with my eyes do is different. He operated almost in privilege, right? He operated almost in privilege and did something that I don't think anybody else would feel like they could do and get away with it. But he was able to do it because he's a superstar, bro. He's a big deal. Like, we know, you know what I'm saying? He was able. Nobody else could do that. Nobody else could stop the action. And not only stop the action, Rich, walk away from the ref while the ref is sitting there counting, walk away, turn his back on the ref, and then stick his head outside of the ring, call Calvin. Look at what Barry Hunter did. Barry Hunter was like, Brian getting up on there. We're gonna get disqualified. Tank switched sides and was like, Calvin, come up. And then Calvin came up like, I got you, Tank. Wiped his head off, walked out that corner, walked to the other corner, looked at the ref like, I'm ready, man. And the ref was like, what are you doing, bro?
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie. How you broke it down like that? Yeah, you're right.
It was a lot. But once again, I'm telling you the straight truth to say that I don't put that on Tank.
Right.
I put that on the referee. It's up to the referee to enforce the rules. Bro, if I could do what Tank did, I'm doing it.
I'm saying though, right? Like when the whole Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney stuff went about the PED case and stuff, they went to the same sanctioning thing, right?
Right, athletic commission, right.
So why y'all think that the athletic commission didn't count it as a knockdown?
Because of the bread, because of the bread, the gambling, the everything involved with turning over something like that, everything involved with calling it a knockdown, changing over the decision, the judges, Vegas, the people who bet money, the casinos, Tank, the draw he is, the way he might deal with it. He might never come back to New York. Tank just has so much weight, it just wasn't worth it, bro. He just holds so much weight. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like that guy who comes in the club and you own the club and he spends like 5 to 10 bands every time he come in the club, and you know what I mean, he slapped somebody or broke a bottle over somebody's head one night in a fight, and then you know you got to make a decision as to whether or not you're gonna press charges on this dude or not. You probably not if you ain't got to. You're gonna be like, bro, I ain't doing that, bro. I might talk to him, I might give him a good scolding, a good talking to, but I'm not gonna risk giving up the fact that this guy comes to my club. Every time he comes to my club, not only does he spend 5 to 10 bands on his section, but everybody comes to the club because he's in the club, and they each spend about $2 to $3 grand each just to be in a section close to him. I'm not going to take that guy and hold him to the same accountability as I got with a dude who has an open tab and leaves the club, you know, spends like $150 on drinks and tips my waitress $30 when he leaves. F that guy. I'm gonna send that guy up out of here. But the baller, the dude who's coming in here shutting it down, he gonna get some leeway. We're just not going to hold him accountable the same way, bro. So we're going to escort him out the back. When he smashes the bottle over the dude's head because the dude's talking crazy to him, we're going to walk him out the back door and be like, come on, man, you playing with us, man. We need you to go home tonight.
You right.
We ain't involving no
Can y'all
police.
hear me? Can y'all hear
We're
me?
not involving no lawsuits. We're not involving nothing that's gonna make this guy feel like, and I ain't never coming back here again. Go ahead, Ross.
Right. It's because Tank Davis is the money guy, right? You guys call him the face of boxing. You guys call him the highest paid pay-per-view guy. That's the reason why. That's the reason why they allowed that. They didn't call that a knockdown after the fight. When they look at the replay, it's a clear knockdown. You take a knee, it's a knockdown. Fighters take a knee all the time intentionally to get their marbles right, to get their head together. That's what happened. Tank did that. Tank was hurt. He did that. Then called time out.
He was
Clay, I
hurt.
disagree. I don't want to blame her. I don't want to say it's the ref.
He
I
was
don't want
hurt.
to say it's the ref. It was everybody. I don't know. I wasn't the one who got punched, but
You
he the
just
one who
said he was hurt.
taking knee. Hood Rich.
It doesn't matter if he was hurt or not. It's even worse if he wasn't hurt. That's the thing, brother.
How is
It doesn't
worse?
matter if he's hurt or not. I would prefer him to be hurt
Yep.
than take a knee than to not be hurt and take a knee.
But how is worse if he wasn't hurt?
Nah, he wasn't hurt, but he still took the knee, though, bro.
Hold up, Thomas. Hold up, Thomas Hill, bro. How is it worse if he wasn't hurt? I need you to explain that.
It's worse. It's worse because it's a clearer. It's a
Like he did
clearer.
take the action.
It's a clearer decision. Like it's a clear. Like if you're hurt, it's better looking because it's like, oh, he's hurt and he took the knee. And if he got pushed down or knocked down, it would be a better argument as to whether or not he really got knocked down or between getting knocked down and pushed down. And I'm bringing up, I guess, the Terrence Crawford situation. What Tank, like I said, everybody on the panel might not agree. I don't hold Tank accountable for the decision the ref made. I hold Tank accountable for the decision he made. I hold the ref accountable.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Tank took the knee. That's what he did. I don't think Tank argued that he took the knee or why he took the knee or all that. He just basically said, oh, damn, I didn't even know that whatever the rules were, which I don't believe either, by the way. But at the same time, the referee is the person who's really the shoulders that this falls on. This is where the accountability is at that matters the most. It doesn't matter too much about how Tank feels about it or why he took the knee or whether he was hurt or whether he had something in his eye or whether he just didn't feel. It doesn't even matter. That's personal, and only Tank, God, and maybe Calvin and Barry know why he decided to do what he did. Right. The rules are there. The structure of boxing built around boxing that keeps it fair. And I want to keep it 100 to say, Lamont Roach was not protected in that situation, right? Like the work he put in, the decision affected him in an adverse way. It's not just about Tank and the referee. It's about Lamont Roach being treated fairly. Because if Lamont would have been like, nah, that ain't no knockdown, he punched him while he was on the ground, he would have been disqualified, right? He'd have been, if he would have swung on him and been like, nah, bro, that's not a knockdown, boom, Lamont would have been out of here. So he has to respect the rules and to understand that he has a boxing. He has to walk to the opposite corner. He's not allowed to be with his corner where Tank stuck his head out the ring and got his head wiped. Lamont couldn't go to his corner and let Lamont Sr. be like, yo, man, you're doing great, man. As soon as the red goes, I want you to run right over there. Let me wipe your head too, man. All right, man, go ahead. He would have been disqualified immediately. The ref would have looked over and showed him like, what are you doing? He would have disqualified Lamont.
Or kicked him out the corner, which is allowed. Let me say something real quick, Ross Scott. So also with that being said, when that situation happens, even with the ref missing the call or starting the count, there's also officials outside the ring that are supposed to take count of that. The judges they don't have to wait for the ref to take count of the ref calling the knockdown, even though they do for the most case, but they also can tell the ref that was a knockdown, they put it on the card. They also have an official outside that does the counting. That official, once that count starts, he's supposed to go with the count, and that's when a knockdown does happen. But other than that, and anybody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. At the end of the day, what we saw was something that was not fair to say in boxing, regardless of who the fighters were. It was like a circus event at that point, I think, and a lot of people got either disgusted or excited over nothing, in my opinion. So, I mean,
let me say something at you, Ray. I see, it's crazy because everybody's saying take the L, young blood, take the L, take the L. But none of you guys is gonna go with Lamar in the rematch. I find that crazy. He won
Because
the first fight.
Rich, it's not about that, Rich.
It doesn't matter, bro. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
Rich, it's not about whether or not Lamar Roach is gonna beat Tank tomorrow. Beat Tank up
If he did it
tomorrow.
once, he can do it again, right?
He
Yeah.
could.
What are you doing? What are you doing, man?
No,
Listen,
he can't.
I'm
That doesn't mean
me,
he can do it again.
me keeping it
Yo,
100,
Johnny,
Hood Rich, me taking it 100, right? I'll
Yeah.
take a chance on saying that out loud right now to the world. From what I've seen, I don't believe Tank. I think Tank was just having fun in there. I've said it on this channel. I think he was having a certain amount of fun. He really knew what he had in front of him. He was sticking his tongue out. He was doing some little weird shoulders and knees and punches below the belt. Listen, I seen the fight. I watched it. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that he did these things to not frustrate Lamont Roach, but he did. But I think what happens is it ended up backfiring a little bit. Instead of him frustrating Lamont Roach, Lamont stayed game into the fight, and it reversed the flow of the frustration, and Tank got frustrated. That's the way I seen the fight going. But I think if Lamont stays on point and stays on track, Lamont can win that match. Absolutely, he can. And I think if something like that happens or occurs again, it will be a knockdown. It will count. This is not a slight or disrespect tactic towards Tank. Again, I do think Tank wins the next fight. But if you want me to challenge myself and say, do I think or believe Lamont can win the fight? Absolutely. I
Yeah,
will not.
yeah.
Every fighter that gets in that ring has a chance of losing, no matter who they are, how big they are, how tough they are, what their record shows.
For
Every
sure.
fighter. So I will never discredit Lamont Roach or not take Lamont Roach to say,
Right.
I don't think he has a chance of winning the next fight. Absolutely, I'll put my money on it.
But
Yo.
hold on a second, guys. We got 52 people in the building. I appreciate everybody in the building. Please
that
take
like
a moment to hit that like button, please.
Like,
Hit the like button, help the channel up in the algorithm. And definitely, I don't know if you're scared to or not, but I'm letting you know this is a safe place. You are free to put some color in the chat. You heard? Don't worry about it.
I ain't gonna lie though. I ain't gonna lie. What I just said, it wasn't for y'all, bro. It was for the people on the back talking about, oh, you got.
I know already, Rich. Trust me.
No disrespect.
Well,
If I feel like
It's
whenever I
fucking for
feel
y'all.
like it goes too much, I'm gonna say something, stop it, because I'm not gonna let nobody be disrespected up here. You know what I mean? So as soon as I feel like that's happening, I'll stop it from anybody disrespecting each other. I know that this is just good conversation. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Let me let Thomas Hill up in here, because if I don't, he ain't gonna let me live it over. He gonna feel some kind of way.
never that, dog. Why you putting that cape on me, bro? Don't put that cape on me, man. Come on. You know I'll be having a good time up in
Hold
here.
on, wait, Thomas. I'm not done. I also gotta.
Yeah. Definitely give me the dun, dog. I feel special now, bro. Hey, look, all I gotta say regarding that incident, he voluntarily took a knee, and it's at the discretion of the ref, but more times than not, they often award that as a knockdown for the opponent. Then he got up and jettisoned over to the corner and got attention. That can be displayed as a freaking disqualification. So it was 2 infractions that he did that he definitely didn't get counted for. And the grease excuse just didn't wash over well. Whether it was valid or not, it's not going to wash over well, because whether people want to admit it or not, people have been waiting a long time for a moment like this to arise.
For sure.
So you giving them excessive reasons for them to say, look, that's weak as hell. And I mean, I saw the punch. It definitely grazed him on the other side. The braid hit him, but he took a knee, bro. You know what I'm saying? He took a knee. And because of that, the ref can say, hey, yo, that's a knockdown. More times than not, they do say that. The stuff that happened afterwards, I've never seen, bro. I've never seen somebody go over there and get attention. So it's just not a good look for Tank all the way around. Now, was he hurt by that punch? Hell, I don't believe not. I think Roach's expression and reaction tells you everything, but then you see the true reaction. Hey, you just started counting. What the fudge? Are you just going to stop the count? What's the deal? You count. You got to keep counting. Ray is correct with the fact that there's a timekeeper and there's another official, but then there is a sanctioning body official. They could have also stepped in and made a decision to say, like, no, that we got to score that a knockdown or whatever the case may be. And
Right.
so the onus also shifts to them. So what Clay said for what Tank did, that's his decision. For what the ref did, it's his decision. Has other refs done things similar to that? Maybe not with the same look, but definitely the same thing has occurred before where knockdowns have not been called. Even obvious knockdowns have not been called. And because it was just Tank, just like it is with Canelo, whenever the magnitude of the person in the ring, it's going to come that much greater when it does happen. So, like, for instance, with fans, Tank got the most craziest fans. Yeah, he got some crazy fans. But you mean to tell me that all these other people ain't got crazy fans? It's just that they're not on the same scale.
I'm telling you straight up, if Tank fights for like another 2-3 years, I'm gonna be real with you, right? I believe I could see somebody getting smoked outside of the arena. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Hold on.
I
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. After that fight, March 1st, bro, all hell broke loose, bro. I ain't gonna lie. They took my bro. It was like, I ain't gonna lie, I was in the middle of a brawl too, bro. Like, they took my phone, they took my tablet, they took my bag, they took everything. Me and Coach Kenny stuff, bro.
Hey Clay.
Yeah.
Hey Clay, to that same point, that's why you don't disqualify it. Because imagine if they disqualify it, the carnage that takes place in that venue. Because there are some people that feeling like we about to have a hella payday.
Yeah.
And you just shut all that ish down.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, what you said, the magnitude of who's in there dictates what kind of stuff may be allowed. And it's not cool on the behalf of fair play. But and this Lamont, is life, and life ain't fair. It's just played
right.
that way.
Tom, let me ask you this, right, Thomas? You're training Lamont Roach, right? And that happens. How do you, as a trainer, deal with what you're looking at? How do you deal with it in that moment? Seeing that the count happen, seeing him change his mind, him not counting it. Do you push it to the fullest extent and get this thing changed over there in that ring? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That moment.
Yeah.
In that moment, yeah, I'm going to an official, and I'm saying, yo, what happened right there? Isn't that not technically a knockdown? He started counting, because that's what I'm gonna go off of the basis. You started counting,
right?
And then you had a moment of clarity, and you went over there and asked, like, yo, what you doing? You making it look like it was a knockdown? No, but you counted first. So, like, why isn't the ring official? I'm gonna do everything I can do to try to get in that moment to try to get my advantage there. Whether it was a knockdown or not, it was counted as a knockdown initially. So I'm gonna go off of that thing, and I'm gonna work.
Fight for your fighter, right? You're gonna be on the side of the conversation that you're supposed to be on, and you're gonna make sure that you're gonna make them tell you a reason why that's not happening. You're not allowing that to slide, right? Like this.
Yeah, I would. They would have to justify to me why it wasn't. And then if they can justify to me why it wasn't, then, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But at the time, I'd definitely be trying to work the angle of like, hey, that's a knockdown. We should get credited for a knockdown in that round.
Right.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm in there and I'm seeing the fight and I looked at it and that's how it played out, I would go that route for sure. Like, yo, well, he took a knee just on the strength that he took the knee and he started counting. You counted after he took the knee, so technically that's either a 8 count or it's a knockdown. And since you counted, it now becomes a knockdown.
Right.
Why didn't you continue to count? And then they would have to justify it to me. But, like I say, I don't believe that it was caused from a punch. I think the first punch missed. The second punch grazed him on the opposite side. What he did from that moment, it was up to the ref's discretion to call it a knockdown, and he's fortunate that he didn't get called a knockdown.
Right.
And then what happened afterwards, he was fortunate that it wasn't disqualified. But as I said, and as he attested to being in the ring, in the venue, they would have shut that fight down. It would have been some police activity up in that bad boy for sure.
You saw the crowd when the camera was showing the crowd. It was not the type of people that you.
Yeah, real talk. And I'm being honest, bro. I'm being honest. And like I say, I have no allegiance to nobody. I rock with boxing more so than anything. And that's the only reason why I often, when people come at Stephen Willis's head, I was like, well, you know, it's not entirely different from what happened with Harvey Dockin. Nobody attacked him like that.
Yo, all right. So my question was, you guys were talking about the bigger than life fighters, right? But isn't that why all fans pretty much watch boxing to see if this person's going to be a contestant to the crown or to the champion or to the person that's in the ring that we favor? I'm not saying we want to see them lose, but we want to see them at their best and we want to see them challenge. Isn't that the reason why? If I'm not mistaken, at the end of the day,
Dang.
right? So if that's the case, like we kind of in the back of our minds kind of expect the upset sometimes because it makes boxing bigger. It makes the story bigger at the end of the day. So I get the whole, like, you know what I mean? We got favorites and Vegas picks a favorite and whatever the case may be. But when we see a close contest or a contest that's not supposed to go the way it goes, automatically we're excited regardless of the aftermath of what happens in the fight. We kind of look at it like, yo, that's what we want because it brings more eye to the sport. And I'm not crazy, but I'm pretty certain that it goes on ESPN now. Boxing is now exclusive on ESPN. Boxing is exclusive on your local networks because there's a great a face of boxing that has been stopped or lost to that factor. I mean, people bet on Floyd losing more than they bet on him winning. It's crazy.
For sure. That's why they were watching this fight.
I think when we look at boxing in general, we always look at that, regardless of the opponent or the champion or the contenders.
And that's why and that's why I don't get mad at arguments like this. I get mad when people start talking crazy and y'all not betting against them. Like it's just like how you just said, people bet on Floyd to lose. If you got all this animosity, why you don't bet on Tank to lose? It's always, oh no, I got Tank winning, but come on, bro. Like,
can I say this one thing? Can I say this
you
one
gotta
thing?
look at the matchup too, man. I mean, at the end of the day, most times Tank, they're like 95-5 fights. You know we're gonna win. We know the outcome.
I ain't gonna lie though.
People coming for the knockout. They're not coming for the competition. They're coming to see the knockout, brother.
Most of the time, yeah.
It's like you go to a horror movie. You just wait for the guy to get knocked off. That's all it is. And with Lamont Rosie, it never happened. That was the problem.
The best horror movie because you low key always want the dude to get away, kind of, right? But they never do. But when you see him get away, you be like, oh.
But not only did he get away, he goddamn put hands on him too in the process. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the worst thing you can do as a boxing fan. I think upsets are great for boxing because it brings everybody, like Too Rich, when not picking on you, but it brings you back to reality that these people are flesh and blood. They can't walk on water. If you hit them, they will bleed. If they can be hurt, and they all, like at the end of the day, they all hang around long. If Tank hang around long enough, you're going to witness Tank pull himself off the canvas. And if he hangs around long enough, that's just boxing, brother.
Can I say this? Last two things. I promise.
Shout out to everybody in the building. We got like 50-something people in the building. Please, take a moment to hit the like button. I appreciate you guys in advance. Hit that like button. Help the channel get in the algorithm, and of course, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Take an opportunity to do that as well. Go ahead, Tom.
Hey, can I say three things now that you make mention of that? Hey, can we hit the like button? Can we subscribe to the brother's channel like we do to our favorite fighters? How we go ham for our favorite? Can we go ham on the like button for the young brother right here, man? He's just trying to make a living, man. Ernest, my man, Rick Davis, man. He rocking the Bulls fan hat. You know what I'm saying? Give him some love for being a Bulls fan at times. You know what I'm saying?
Also, he ain't no Bulls fan. He always got
also definitely hit that subscription button, man.
Hold on, for my brother Hoodrich, I'll be right back.
Hey, and while he making a segue, can we also bang the cash app? Put some color up in here because we, from the Rainbow Coalition, man, we love all colors, bro. All forms of currency will be appreciated from my brother.
We love
really love that red,
though. We love them red. We love them reds now.
Oh, anytime you see red, you know it's problems. It's trouble.
I'm gonna have to put some barbells here like Showbiz does and flex for y'all when y'all hit the red. You know what I'm saying? Hit the
for sure.
Guns, you know what I mean?
For sure. But this is the second thing. Mm-hmm. My man L Dub Boxing is in the building. He asked a question for my man Hood Rich.
What do you say?
I know you ain't like real particular on saying names, but like they want to know like who was supposed to be the fighter that he was gonna call out.
I can't do that, bro.
I know, and then who was? Just know that the supposed to be fighter that was gonna get called out was one of the people that Tank supposedly had been running from. The person that was about to be called out, we ain't gonna even discuss that.
No.
Yeah.
And something had changed in that moment to make that the direction that it was going to go. And I think that moment started from the moment you found the tweet, the fight is canceled. From there, something definitely was at play that wasn't good with Tank. And from that all the way to the press conference, you saw a totally different Tank than you ever seen in any other build up to a fight. Now the third thing is I'm gonna say this is and then I'll be cool on that. Fighting folks and having people wanting to see you lose is a absolute great thing. It's the greatest thing because Floyd was able to build the thing that he could build in the sport because a lot of people respected his ability, but a lot of people wanted to see him lose. And they would pay to watch him lose. Hood, you know for a fact, I told you that in this moment, this is where Tank need to strike. Because now, in this moment, there's a lot of people who feel like he won't be able to beat certain fighters. And they will pay to see him fight those fights. Because they believe it will be the best chance to lose. That's the reason why, my man, that's why they was clamoring over that dang Pacquiao fight, because they thought Pacquiao be the first person to get him out of there. I never thought at any point in his career Pacquiao would get him up out of there. But
I didn't pay. I stream all fights.
You said what?
I said I didn't pay. I've been streaming since the beginning of streaming. I watched Pacquiao for free.
Pacquiao fight?
Yeah, I watched it for free. I've been streaming since the beginning of streaming.
That's sad, bro.
I don't give a what.
They were streaming back then on the Pacquiao fight.
Back then, yes, yeah, yes.
Word.
Fight Strike was one of
crazy
the
though.
Well, streaming's been happening for a long time, without a doubt. Streaming's been.
Hey, bro, you got to realize, man, I've just now got to the internet stuff not too many about like 5 or 6 years ago, bro. I didn't know streaming was big like that. But you know what? They called it something. They called it a black box or something. You're right. It was a black box then, huh? Was that what they was using?
They had the black. No, I'm talking about the internet. People were able to stream on the internet.
Word.
I'm using the box now. I got the box now, but yeah, back then it was like the internet. It was like the internet.
Oh, you can stream. Oh, my bad, bro. But I know a lot of people did pay for it though. And so much so that it broke the bank. You know what I'm saying? Because people believed that would be the fight. But a lot of fights that he fought after that, and I would say it was after the oh my God, what's the brother's name? So many people thought he lost to.
Who?
Maidana.
No. Before that,
Me personally, I thought Maidana beat Floyd that fight. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I was sitting on the edge of my bed. I was like, dang.
Let me just
I said, Floyd.
People real quick. Hold on, guys. Let me get this out the way. I'll never get quick. Hold on, Rod Scott. Hold on. Mr. Big Play, shout out for the $2 holla, really the $4. And shout out to Nick J also putting $5 in the putting some color in the channel with the super stick. I appreciate you, Queen. Thank you.
You guys subscribe to Nick J and the Queens of the Ring Boxing.
100%. If you don't know, you under a rock or something, they definitely outside making a hell of noise.
That Castillo fight. I thought that after that moment, there was a lot of people interested in seeing him lose and believed he would lose if he would fight the right folks. And that's why I think Tank need to take this time to redirect the purpose and fight the fights that people believe he will not win or stand a chance at losing, because it can do big time numbers for him.
I think the only difference between Tank and Floyd is that Floyd has so many more tools and attributes than Tank does. I mean, Floyd freaking bag is like 10 times deeper than Tank's bag. Yeah, you know, Floyd is just one of them guys, man. That dude got a goddamn tool shed. And most of the guys just got 2 bags, man.
I ain't gonna lie though. I can somewhat agree, but I can't disagree with you on that, because one thing about Floyd, he was always, you ain't never had to worry about him not being focused ever. You feel me? Like, you ain't never had to question that. I feel like, man, if Tank focused, it's over with for everybody, bro.
And not only that, you got to look at the competition, man. I mean, this dude was fighting some freaking real competition, man.
It ain't really new. I ain't gonna lie.
That dude got a resume, bro.
I ain't gonna lie.
Floyd resume is
bro,
legit.
it was better fighters back then than it is today, in my opinion. Like, in every division, you got like a good 3-4 good fighters this year. Back then, there was a couple of them. It was like at least good 10. You feel me? Like, if you don't fight the top 3, the rest of them cherry pick. So it's like, of course, that's why I said you can never compare Bud Crawford to the people behind him or in the past, because it was better competition. That's what I think about it.
And they were making the fights. We got to get to the point where we get whatever competition is there. We got to make those fights.
And Clay, I heard
finally agree
talking
with
about.
You finally said something I agree with. Finally.
Bro,
I finally said something?
No, you talking about me.
No, I'm talking about Hood Rich.
Clay,
oh,
y'all was talking about
what to say, my man. Damn, I got to work on my stuff then.
Nah, Tommy.
Go ahead, Rich. Let me hear what you got to say.
No, my bad. I'm going to go ahead.
Like last night, y'all was talking about, it was something I agree heavily on, about the promoters getting scared about Dana White. That's real. That's real. Everybody
Dana,
trying to team up now. Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you something, bro. When it comes to Dana, I know people, you know,
I watch UFC. I love it.
On the surface level, people want to play with Dana's face like he's an amateur or he's mis. This man is a wolf, bro. Like, this man is dare I say, a dragon. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking about in the spirit of competition, when I'm talking about the spirit of business, the cutthroat energy he has. Yeah. Bob Arum and PBC came together for a reason, bro. They understand. And I think the fans of boxing would like it to be, man, he can't bring that over here. He's not. What Dana's gonna bring over here is a winner's mentality. And whatever aligns with the winner's mentality, be prepared. He's going to shake up the sport, bro, because he doesn't do nothing else. He competes and he's gonna try to kill, right? When you look at what he did with the UFC and what he did with Pride and what he did with WEC and what he did with Bellator and how he did it, bro, he's nothing to play with. And who's going to win is going to be us, the fans, because he's going to force these other establishments to pick up their game. What you saw him doing, what you see Bob Arum and PBC doing is just on the surface level of what he's going to do in this game. He hasn't even put an event together yet. But just off the strength of him coming, got these people like, all right, we need to, they're moving in the way they did. And that's showing you that he ain't nothing to play with. They sleeping on Dana, bro. I don't know why. I don't really get it. I think people let their animosity towards somebody get the best of their actual judgment. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what he's gonna do is he's going to make boxing better. The same way Turki Al-Sheikh has made boxing better, Dana's gonna do the same thing. And how has he done it? By just being in the game and being a viable option for up-and-coming fighters. He's forcing the hands of the other promoters to just be better. And as a fan of boxing, you should be very happy and very excited about what's about to happen in boxing for the next 3 to 5 to 10 years. There's going to be an evolution in boxing that's going to benefit us as fans. Shout out to Dragonfly Jones for the $5. Thank you for supporting the channel, brother. I appreciate you. King says, silence. I just need one unification from Tank in 2025 at 135. Let's get it. I like it. I like it. I like it. What happened to everybody? I was talking, I didn't even pay attention. Thomas Hill left, Ross Scott left. They ain't like the Dana White talk. Yeah, it is what it is.
No, it is man, what it is. I get where everybody coming from. Like, I get it. I ain't gonna lie, I get it. But I just want to see my man's back focused, bro. I ain't gonna lie, because the slander I've been getting is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I ain't even been on
boxing,
here, man.
right? It's boxing, Rod Scott. I mean, I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to call you that. Hood Rich. It's boxing, man. And we all gotta, it's boxing, man. He's gonna be held to task, man. And I know you understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Tank is young. When boxing is done, Tank has got a whole life he's gonna live. He's gonna be he's gonna be outside of boxing when he's outside of boxing. But when he's inside of boxing, that's where he is. Shout out to you, Ross Cloud. I see you said my apologies. I'm in the gym on the treadmill. No doubt. But boxing don't need a unification. Get that from Shakur and Keyshawn. We don't care about belts at GTD. Yeah, I know. That's why he do what he do too. But that's cool. Those are the real fans, right? Who don't care. You know what I mean? And he doesn't have to worry about, unifications and fighting for titles and beating, fighting certain fighters, because the Tank fans are the most loyal fans in boxing today. You know what I mean? Even the Canelo fans want Canelo to be a champion. That's why he holds them damn belts the way he does and holds up the whole damn super middleweight division the way he does, because he understands that my fans want me to be a champion. They want to celebrate me. They love me because I am a champion, because I am decorated, because I walk around with a crown on me and 4 belts around my waist. Because when I come to the ring, I represent Mexico in a way that they love. The best, the face of boxing, the pound for pound, one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world. Tank fans don't care about that. They just want they're interested in, well, most Tank fans, they're interested in who he's coming out with in the ring. Is it going to be Lil Durk? Is it going to be G Herbo? Is it going to be, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be entertaining. And the most important thing is he going to clean somebody up. He going to knock somebody clean out. And they don't have to have no belt attached to it, no accolades attached to it, no legacy attached to it. It doesn't have to have any of that. That's what it looks like from the outside looking in. You know what I mean? Because you just saw right here, Bubs boxing kept it 100, right? He said, don't need a unification. He said, go get that from Shakur and Keyshawn. Those guys. We don't care about belts at GTD.
So there's a lot of mixed messages with that, I believe, right? Because I think we had at one point where Tank did say it, but I know Tank doesn't. Says also that he doesn't want to pay the sanction fees because he knows that that's a scam in the system. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's how he feels. That he should not have to be paying all this money to represent a belt. You know what I mean, and defend their belt when they're supposed to be representing him. They should be paying him or any fighter to represent their title and hold their title. It should be the other way around. But I understand, you know what I mean? You need the money to go back. But they collect fees just for being in the sanctions, if I'm not mistaken. So why do they got to charge for the belts? I don't understand, but
he pays the sanction fee for that WBA.
No. What I'm saying is he does. What I'm saying to you is to be amongst, you got to pay a fee to be in the sanctions anyway. All boxers do to get ranked, or not ranked, but be in the sanctions. They'll be able to be ranked. And on top of that, you got to pay a sanction fee to hold the title. That's just nonsense. What happened?
Nah, Bubs, man. Bubs always trolling me, man. He always get my attention.
He gotta get that. He better start dropping some color in his chat, bro. I'm gonna come.
Bubs always get me, bro. He always say something, making me look at what he writing.
You like me.
Rich and Coach Eddie. How do you guys feel about I want to move past the Tank things because we're about to close it up soon. I was supposed to be gone an hour and a half ago. So just to show you how this boxing always be just drawing me in. I can't get out of it. Tszyu, Joey Spencer this weekend. More importantly, from Tszyu at 154. Where are we with Tszyu? How are you guys on Tszyu? I'm gonna start off the right way. Where were you guys with Tszyu before the Sebastian Fundora fight in comparison to where you are today?
Oh, I like to take that question first.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like Tszyu was the guy they was trying to force on me. You know, like they were trying to force him on you, like to tell you, to make you feel like he was that guy. And they basically what they did, they found a whole bunch. They got in some names, is what they did. Put some names in front of him, to help build his resume, to build his profile. But to me, he wasn't never really that guy. I mean, even when he's fight Tony Harrison, I know Tony Harrison was kind of halfway washed when he went over there. Tony went over there for the bag. Tony's chin been cracked a long time ago. I knew that Tszyu was a chinny. I'm gonna call him chinny because that's what we do with fighters, right? He's chinny, right? Because he's chinny. He meet the criteria of being chinny because Terrell Gaucher dropped him with a single right hand. That wasn't the first time he was dropped. He was dropped by one of his countrymen also. So if you touch Tszyu on the chin, he gonna go down. I think he gets knocked out against Joey Spencer. I think so. I think that beating that my man, I can't even pronounce the guy's name, but that beating he took that last fight, he beat him like a drum, man.
Is Joey Spencer good? Like, what's his record?
Joey Spencer he's kind of like I call him a white chocolate fighter. You know, PBC like to have them white chocolate fighters like Caleb Plant and Spencer. I mean, Spencer, he's a decent fighter. He's not bad. He's not a world beater. He's decent. I think he's decent enough, and he got enough pop to give Tszyu some problems, especially that last beating that Tszyu just took. He got like I say, it's gonna be interesting. People keep talking about Devin Haney coming back. Tszyu got the freaking brakes beat off of him, man. That was a freaking demolition job right there. That was a destruction.
Yeah, Coach Eddie, I'd go on record to say, because I love this comparison because I think it's very similar. I think Tszyu's got punched on crazy. Very similar to a Devin Haney, except that Devin Haney, went the whole 12 rounds. But Tszyu got punched on crazy, bro. He's had two very traumatizing experiences in 1 year. He's had his head split to the white meat against Sebastian Fundora and had to fight through that. And then he got punched on like he stole something from my mother, and I caught him, right? Like, he got punched on crazy. Who is Tszyu getting ready to be? And I'm going to let you finish because I also want you to fast forward into, well, I think you kind of covered it. So, I mean, I think you did. You basically said going into the Sebastian Fundora fight, you weren't impressed with him and how he looked against Tony Harrison. And then basically, on the back end of what happened with him in Bakram, you're expecting Joey Spencer to get an upset and stop Tszyu and end the train once and for all, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think whoever's managing Tszyu, they didn't do a very good job, man. Like I said, they did good at first to put him in with Terrell Gaucher. Terrell Gaucher is kind of like a hard look. He's the new Gabe Rosario. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I think he won the last fight he was in, and he didn't get the decision. But he's a sturdy trial horse. That's what Terrell Gaucher is. He's a solid fighter. You know what I'm saying? Nothing great, nothing stands out about him, but he's solid. He's tough. He's gonna show up. He's gonna be fighting. He's gonna be in shape. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. They robbed Goucher.
I thought so too, man.
Against Elijah Garcia,
they robbed, bro. Yeah. I don't know why they trying to build him up, but dude ain't got it, bro. Like, he got knocked out in the gym before and all that, bro. Like, I honestly, I don't know why they trying to build him up like that. Like, why do y'all want
Elijah Garcia?
Yeah, like, what do y'all want him to be, like the next Canelo or something? I don't get it. Like, he not good, bro. In my opinion, I don't know if it's his coach or what, but they need to stop it, bro. They gonna get that kid hurt, bro.
Yeah, that's that Bob Santos. He's like, he reminds me of Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia let you get your brains beat out, man. That's one thing he's known for. I mean, he keeps sending you out. You freaking eye could be hanging out of your freaking eye socket. He gonna send you back out there.
Bob Santos, he's willing. If you like it, he love it. He gonna push you out there.
Bob Santos is the same way, man. You can be getting crap kicked out of you. He gonna send you out there, man. And they ain't gonna get mad when the referee stop it.
So Hood Rich, where were you at on Tszyu before the Sebastian Fundora fight in comparison to where you are today with Tszyu?
Honestly, bro, I wasn't high on him, but I liked the dude. You feel me? Like, I liked him because he wasn't ducking nobody. He was like, man, I'm trying to fight. I don't care who it is. I just want to fight. And I liked that. And like, I feel like if it was anybody else, I don't know why they didn't stop that fight and they just rematched it. I don't know why, but I feel like that messed him up, bro. That cut in the middle of his head, and then you got to rewatch the fight.
And he had to fight 10 rounds with that cut. It wasn't like it happened in the 9th round and he was just like, let's finish it out. They made that boy 9, 10 rounds of just wiping blood out his eyes, tasting blood in his mouth. You know what I mean? Looking crazy for 10 rounds. I mean, I'm trying to put in perspective of what it must have felt like to be going through that, right? And we didn't even see how many more elbows he got hit with, because he probably got hit with more elbows because you're fighting Sebastian Fundora. It's just natural for him. We saw Sebastian Fundora damn near elbow Chordell Booker. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I don't like that dude, man. Like, me and him had got into it at one of Tank press conferences, bro. Like,
who, Sebastian?
No, Cordell, bro.
Oh.
Like, he swear he was the goods, bro. Like, he be talking crazy, bro. And then you go in there and you don't even last 5 rounds.
Yeah,
like,
and
you
you're
trash,
running around,
bro.
you were
Like,
running away
I
too.
can't wait to see him again, bro. Like, he was, if y'all would have heard the things he was saying, bro. Like, he was, man. Then you go in there and you quit. Like, I don't care. You quit it, bro. Like, you quit it. You gave up.
Yeah, he hear you right now. Trust me, somewhere out there, he gonna hear it.
He's
Yeah,
a
he
chump,
gonna hear it. So where are you on Tim Tszyu right now, though? So you think he's ruined? Do you think that, like, he's ruined? You think like that experience between these last 2 fights he had, do you think he's cracked? You know what I'm saying? He's done?
I feel like people got him figured out now. Like, first, it was a puzzle trying to see, like, can he take a punch? Can he go the distance? Can he it was a lot of question marks on that. So now we see him get defeated 2 times back to back. And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna say like the top guys, but people was scared to fight Tim Tszyu, bro. Like 2 years ago, a year ago, people was terrified to fight that man. So now, I'm not that high on him no more, bro. I'm not, but like, and I feel like he tried to, like, it was something like, why would you attack that guy like that? Like, why would you go in there and just go straight through it? Like somebody told you, like, you gotta knock him out quick. You feel me? Like, it was like somebody told him, like, you gotta knock him out, like quick. So, like, and I felt like it probably was his dad. His dad was there. His dad never been to a fight of his or once.
Right.
So I felt like it was like a lot of emotion, and I feel like he let his dad down. So if he there again, he probably gonna try to show off again. But I probably go with other dude, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Damn. So that answers the question right there. It sounds like you guys have Tim Tszyu shot. That's what we're gonna find out on Saturday with Tim Tszyu. And I have the same questions. I have Tim Tszyu favored to win the fight. That's who I think is supposed to win the fight on paper. But I think the one thing that none of us can gauge on this channel right now, or put a scale, is is that 75% of the game.
Yeah.
Right. We know 20% of the game is physical and abilities, and we know Tim Tszyu checks the boxes on his ability to be the fighter that what we saw him be, right? But mentally, the question is where's Tim Tszyu? Because in that last fight he had against Bakram, as soon as Bakram touched him on the top of his head, he was rubbing it. He was checking. He was rubbing it. There was no blood there. He thought he was leaking, and he wasn't, right? So who is Tim Tszyu today? We don't know. We're gonna find out on Saturday. And I got one last question, and then we gotta wrap it up. Keith Thurman versus Tim Tszyu. How does that fight go? Nobody wants to answer? I'm by myself. Is that how we're gonna carry it?
Yeah, I got Thurman. I got Thurman beating Tim Tszyu, man. I got Thurman beating Tim Tszyu, man. I gotta say, I'm gonna tell you, bro, the Tim Tszyu, man. I just think his chin is so goddamn suspect, man. You catch him, man. That dude's gonna crumble like a.
You think so?
I mean, every time. I mean, he was already chinny before he got beat up. I mean, so I just don't know. I got Tim beating Tim. I mean, I got Keith beating Tim Tszyu. I think Keith has enough experience, move around the ring enough, and still has enough power to keep Tim Tszyu off of it, man. If I'm Joey Spencer this weekend, first thing I'm doing, I'm trying to crack it. I got to test his chin right off the ripple. I have to test his chin right off the bat. I got to send him back into that same mind frame, because if you're Tim Tszyu right now, you laying in that bed getting ready for this fight, you hoping that you don't have a replay of what just happened. You know, that's the mental part, man. How am I? I mean, sparring is sparring, fighting is fighting. How am I gonna react with them 10-ounce gloves? Catch me, you know, on his chin. You know, I mean, hey, Roy Jones, prime example, one of my favorite fighters, man. Since that when Roy got clipped by Tarver, he was never the same, man. Yeah, he cracked his chin. He cracked him, bro.
I knew it, and that's a great example because Roy Jones is my pound for pound favorite boxer. I loved the Roy Jones era. He was the guy, man. But once that chin got cracked by Tarver, bro, he was never the same again, bro. He just wasn't. Glenn put him away.
You gonna beat that ass. But go ahead and talk about Roy. He's just trying to move the needle.
Salute Fight Sports Talk.
What's up, guys?
How's the weather in New Zealand?
We've actually had some rain these last couple of days, so it's not as good, but it's all right.
Is Australia going to get some more rain this weekend with Tszyu versus Joey Spencer? You guys got to get some more. It's about to be bad weather this weekend. How's it looking?
I gotta say, I'm nervous for this fight because Tszyu, after he beat Brian Mendoza, I thought he had the potential to be the best 154 pounder in the world. And so I still felt he was just as good as he was before after Fundora flew. No offense to Fundora, but you know that cut is what saved the day for him. So the Bakram fight shocked me, and I would love to make all kinds of excuses for Tszyu, but I can't. So we're gonna see if he's a shot fighter at a young age, or if that was just a bad night at the office. Because really, there's no way he should be competitive with Joey Spencer. But it's again based on how that Bakram fight went. It's questionable.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you the same question that I asked Coach Eddie and at the time Hoodrich.
Mm-hmm.
In comparison to who you thought Tszyu was before Sebastian Fundora, and I think you answered it a little bit, but in comparison to who you see him now, is he cracked? Has his chin been cracked?
That is a great question. It's got to be because Bakram proved to be a lot better than imbeciles like me thought, because you know I did my prediction video and I thought Tszyu was going to run through him pretty easily. Bakram proved to be a lot better than I thought, and that left hook is going to give trouble to anyone. So clearly the guy hits hard, but Tszyu, I mean, we've seen him get cracked before, and he's shown awareness to not get caught by the same punch again. Like he got dropped in the first round against Goucher, and then went on to not get dropped again for the rest of the fight. So. And it wasn't just that he got dropped; it was his reaction. That fight could have been waved off after the second knockdown. So, I don't know whether it's a guy's chin just giving way all of a sudden. Sometimes in the fight game, you just get old overnight, and I don't know if it had anything to do with the amount of blood he lost against Fundora, but like I said, I don't want to make any excuses for him. So it's you asked a question, a great question. Sorry?
No, go ahead, Fight Sports.
Oh no, is that Ray wanting to say something or?
Nah, Ray was just mumbling something.
No, I'm talking to my son. My bad.
All good. You asked the question, Clay. How is he compared to where I had him before the Fundora fight? Again, I thought with Jermall Charlo out, he had the potential to be the best in the world. Now I can't even have him top 5. So and because he's a pressure fighter and he's not particularly fast. Like as a Tszyu fan, just got to accept he is pretty slow. If he can't take punches the same way he used to, then he's never going to get back to where he was.
Wow. We'll be looking forward to see Tszyu this weekend. We're going on 3 hours. I was only supposed to do an hour and a half today. I came on late. I really appreciate you guys. I had to let you up here, Fight Sports, because if you ask for the link, I'm always going to send it. Not to mention, I wanted to hear your opinion on Tszyu for real, as far as I think the perspective on Tszyu right now is a lot is riding on this fight. I think he knows it. And if you don't mind me asking, Fight Sports, any predictions or any thoughts on what a Tszyu and Keith Thurman fight looks like?
Even though I just gave all the reasons to be skeptical of Tszyu, he should run through this version of Keith Thurman pretty easily, because Keith, and I was a huge fan of Keith Thurman, and I still am now. I just wish he handled his career a little bit differently. But Keith right now, okay, if this version of Keith Thurman could be competitive with Tszyu, then again, I'm a fan of both, but I got to be real. Then that is a damning indictment on how far Tszyu has fallen, because Thurman, even in his heyday, you mentioned Roy Jones, Clay. He has that Roy Jones style, athleticism over technique and reflexes, speed, etc. And he hasn't exactly become Floyd Mayweather overnight, and so his technical deficiencies are just so more obvious than before. But he was fighting a cherry pick. I mean, again, love Keith Thurman, but gotta be real. So, and it was a small guy. So, and Keith Thurman's a small guy. So Tszyu, being a naturally bigger guy, being a pressure fighter naturally, and having good balance, technique, all the good fundamentals, should be able to push Keith Thurman back to the ropes pretty handily and hurt him, drop him, probably stop him. If not, then again, terrible signs for Tszyu.
Yeah, I just want to add something real quick, and it goes back to what you were saying earlier, Clay. Who was Tszyu? Who was he? Like I said, I felt like they were trying to push him. I think he was a product of good, favorable matchups. Remember, he was competitive. He was competitive with a career gatekeeper, Terrell Gaucher, before he started getting knocked out and beat up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Who was he? He was a guy who was a product. I mean, decent fighter, not a world beater in my opinion. A decent fighter, a name, the son of a legend. And you know how they do these sons. You know how they do with these sons of legends. They try to push those guys, man. And to me, he maybe never was who we thought he was, or who the public thought he was. And I think just the beating that he took, he probably not going to fight the same. He may not be that pressure guy. He may try to box this go around, because being a pressure guy, got his butt knocked out, got his butt twisted, trying to be a pressure guy. So you don't know what you gonna. I guess we'll know on Saturday whether he's gonna try to box, use his head a little bit more. And then if you are a pressure guy and you used to, now you try to box it, they're going to change your game up. We'll see.
Let me break this down a little bit, because I had to get out of here myself. So look, I always under the impression that Tszyu always boxed first and then apply pressure once he knew that he can take your punches, right? To me, I've seen that in most of his fights. Once he felt that he can overwhelm you, he took the advantage and he started applying pressure. Another thing I noticed is that Tszyu is the guy we've seen in his last fight and his last two fights, and that questions everything that happened prior to him winning. Him losing these two fights, which was winning. All of a sudden, he became somebody different because he lost. And this is why boxers today are afraid of losing, because we just throw him to the garbage. Tszyu is still the same guy he's always been. I don't think he took 2 steps back. I just think he just fought the wrong fights with two wrong. Well, one was just an accidental disaster that happened with because he was beating Fedor and still was in a close fight with the maiming of an elbow, and the other he just got his butt kicked because he probably had PSTD, right, or PST. So him having those situations, I think he comes back this fight. He fights a really talented fighter in Spencer and beats Spencer. And after he beats Spencer, I think if the Keith Thurman fight is on the table, he smashes Keith Thurman, smashes. And I'm telling you why, because Keith Thurman has taken age is undefeated, right? Or Father Time rather, and Keith Thurman is, even though he's still quick and maybe has some agility, he slowed down, and then moving up the weight just slowed him down some more. And I don't think his power translates the same as people believe it does from 147 to 154. He just happened to fight a 140 pounder that moved up like I said, and that's a whole different fighter. So yeah, we're going to look at the bright side of him stopping somebody that he shouldn't even been in the ring with, to Tszyu fighting somebody that he shouldn't have been in the ring with that got stopped. And we're going to put those comparisons together and try to drive the narrative that Tszyu is worse than Keith Thurman. Absolutely not. But we'll see when this fight happens. I think Tszyu is going to bounce back, and he will be in title contention again.
Do you mind, Clay, if I just quickly respond to what Coach said, because it was a great point.
Respond to it and then put your closing on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're about to be after this. Then Coach could close it out. Then Ray can close it out. And we out.
Yep. Because Eddie, you asked who was Tszyu beforehand. I saw him as a worthy champion, because again, the Gouget fight, yeah, he showed vulnerabilities, but when Charlo fell out, he asked for Tony Harrison, and there were a lot of people saying Harrison's probably going to win. He's outboxed Tszyu's slow, etc. Tszyu dominates him. I was very impressed. And then suddenly the excuses of Harrison being old come up. And then when he fought Mendoza, who was the fastest rising contender aside from himself, I knew at the time, okay, Tszyu he's just a one-off champion at the moment, but to me, he had the most promise because Fundora had just been knocked out. Bakram hadn't stepped up yet, and Ortiz hadn't moved up, and neither had Madrimov hadn't stepped up. So I had a lot of hopes on Tszyu, but it was based on his confidence and everything. So what you're saying makes all completely understand, because maybe we did push him. Maybe people like me got a little bit too excited, but we'll see. I mean, any fighter who's willing to take on the best like he has is, someone we get excited about that. But yeah, maybe I thought more of him than was realistic, but we'll see. Thanks for having me on, guys. Wish I could have jumped on earlier. I'll try and jump on earlier tomorrow. And just as far as the Charlos coming back, because I heard you guys talking about them earlier. As long as they're hungry and they want to come back, great. Jermall Charlo, he's already got a great legacy, and if he's able to beat a guy like Jesus Ramos, then his legacy just goes up. And Jermall, nothing should be able to motivate him more than Caleb Plant slapping him in the face. So we'll see. But thanks for having me on, guys, and peace out.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, man. Hey, guys, by the way, I just want to say, so Ring Magazine did report it, bro. It was 340,000 pay-per-view buys worldwide. So it was 55,000 in America, and the rest was worldwide. It was an international fight more than anything. So look, man, better be even Bivol too. And Shakur Stevenson being on the co-main event on his first pay-per-view. Was he the co-main event? I think he was a co-main event, right? 340,000 pay-per-view buys, man. I mean, look, dog, it is what it is, man. Go ahead, Coach Eddie.
Yes, sir. Hey, salute. Thanks for having me up. Clay and Ray, good boxing talk. Like I say, I'm interested. Hats off to Tszyu. This guy that he's facing this Saturday is not a walkover, not a pushover. So I give him credit. He's always seemed like he wanted to take, real challenges. And I say Joey Spencer, like I say, he's not a world beater, but he's not a pushover either. He's young, he's athletic, have decent power, decent speed. So it should be a contest, and we'll see what happens. Like I say, I'm still gonna stick with my pick. I could be wrong. I have been wrong before. I'm gonna go with Joey pulling off the upset, because I think he should be really motivated, because if he can go ahead and knock Tszyu off, that would catapult his career, so to speak, and he could kind of become a player at the 154-pound division. I think he moved up. He's moving up also. I think he moved up in another weight class. So we'll see how this pans out. Like I say, salute to the panel, salute to the chat. Thank you for doing what you do, brother. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I do believe. Either way, man, we had a good show. We were supposed to be an hour and a half. I was laughing.
Yeah, man, it's always happened. That's why I was kind of hesitant even coming up, because I knew it was gonna drag out that way, man. But I mean, it is what it is.
No doubt. But at the end of the day, man, it was a good show. Much respect to all the panelists. Respect to you, Clay, and everybody in the chat. I mean, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being a part of this great show today. And on that, I just got to say, leave it to Clay.
Yeah, at this point, not what it is. Tomorrow have a better, more complete show, something a little bit more organized. Today was one of those days, but I think, like you said, we had a good. Thanks for everybody who came up. Thanks for all the color in the chat. Remember to hit the like button if you haven't done it yet. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, take a moment and go ahead and do that. And
We out.